being thrown around this morning. I see all the text messages saying it was my fault for saying the same thing that I've been saying for the last 2.5 months, was I've been telling you that the Mariners are good, best team in the American League on paper. And when it goes well, no one says anything. And when it doesn't, everyone blames me for the jinx. I won't hear it. I won't have it. I won't stop saying it. I think they have a better roster. They didn't show it last night. That's how baseball goes. But I'm not going to stop saying it. I think the roster is better. I think the pitching staff is better. I think the bullpen is significantly better, and the lineup is at least as good, if not better, deeper. So I'm going to keep saying it. I don't know what to tell you. It didn't prove to be accurate last night, but nothing in baseball is like definitive over the course of 9 innings. That's why you play 162, and even in the postseason at this point, you play 7. And I think over a 7-game series, hopefully, the talent of the Mariners should prevail. Yesterday, it did not. I don't even really know what to say about yesterday. That looked like a regular season game. It was an odd game to watch. All of the excitement, all the normal excitement of the postseason beforehand. I was over there. Randy Johnson throwing out the first pitch. Jay Buhner getting the crowd hyped and somehow managing to not swear, which I thought was very impressive. Kudos to Jay. The crowd's going crazy. Everyone's hyped up. And then, Julio hits the home run, and it really felt like, oh, my gosh, at this point, it's 2-0. Maybe it's 12-0. I mean, just like all the momentum. And then George just didn't have it. He just didn't have it. He started pitching well first inning or two, and then in the third, it just felt like everything got away from him. Didn't seem to have the command he normally does. Didn't seem to, at that point, have a plan to get out of it. And I was surprised to see him left in as long as he was. I mean, it's not like I'm sitting here saying he should have been pulled right away in the third. I mean, you got to give your guy a chance, and certainly I don't know what's going on with the rest of the bullpen. I don't know who's hurting, who needed an extra day. I know they all had a day off the day before, and most of the pen had 2 days off because of the blowout in Toronto in Game 2. So I was a little surprised that once he started getting himself into trouble in the third, that there wasn't a movement in the bullpen, and there wasn't. I was there, and I was watching the bullpen, and there was, like, stirring, guys stretching, that type of stuff, but none of the, like, hey, we better get somebody up just in case. And they kind of had the opportunity, too. I mean, that Brian Wu looks like he's coming back for a possible Game 5. You have the opportunity to let some guys pitch. And it did not go that way. Instead, George finishes the third. He gives up, 5 in the third. He gives up another run in the fourth, again, with nobody warming the entire fourth inning. Surprising. And then somehow, and for some reason, goes back out for the fifth. I mean, at that point, it was only a 4-run game. You're perfectly capable of coming back from 4 down in the fourth or fifth inning. But he goes back out for the fifth. At that point, Lyle, you said it earlier as we were chatting before the game, and I think it's the right term for it. It felt like a regular season game where your bullpen's beat up, and the manager says, sorry, but you're going to have to go wear it. We don't have anybody else, so sorry, starting pitcher. I know you don't have it today, but you're just going to have to wear it. We got to get you as deep into this game as we can and try to just play for tomorrow. And I was really surprised and maybe you can do that with a 2-0 lead. I mean, maybe there's good reason, good rationale. I haven't found it. I don't know what's going on exactly with every arm in the pen. I don't get the health report the way the manager does. And I'm always pretty careful criticizing bullpen usage because we don't have that information. You don't know who's needing extra days, who's hurting, who says they're unavailable. You just don't know any of that, and that does make it hard. But it did have that feel of like, man, they're just going to make George wear it even though he clearly doesn't have it. And by the time he gave up the bomb to Vlad, it's like, all right, well, now this thing has really gotten away from him. You're 5 down, and everything from there just sort of spiraled. So it's an ugly game. I don't know what was going on with George Kirby. He's not looked like that recently. Dontrell Willis, after the game on Fox, tried to explain. Oh, hold on. We got to get this computer up. Let's try that one more time.
You know what? Jimenez made his plate very small. What I mean by that is Loud contact can do that too, and George Kirby is a strike thrower. But all of a sudden, once the ball game got tied up, I felt like he wanted to make the perfect pitch, and he put himself in tough situations, not only with execution, but with body language and really his mechanics speeding up on him, having a difficult time staying out of the heart of the plate. And you can see behind in the count, trying to make the perfect slider, trying to throw the perfect fastball, overcooking a slider with runners on. When that game speeds up on you, especially against a team that is aggressive, this can happen. He was inability to slow himself down and make strike one, and then all of a sudden you look up and you didn't give up 8 earned runs and 3 bombs.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it was, it just he really had a lot of trouble yesterday. Starting in the 3rd inning, he just kind of lost the feel, just lost it. I don't know why.
But it's not, the end of the world. I think all of us are like, yeah, it was going to be hard to sweep a team in the ALCS. It doesn't happen often, but I think the weird part is kind of feeling like the Mariners didn't have that urgency.
Well, yeah, it was a little strange.
You want them to feel like every game is a must-win, even though we know that like losing one is okay.
Yeah, no, there's a bunch of text messages coming in. Dan's playing the long game. This was just, it's just an opportunity. Where was the other one? I think he decided it didn't matter if we lost that game, and there's an opportunity to play over 7. There's a bunch of texts about it.
And I doubt that Dan thought that.
Well, I think
it's
you
hard
do
not
that.
to get that feeling. Like, why wasn't there more of a sense of urgency?
Yeah, I think you do that once you're down 7-2. At that point, you're bringing in, the back half of your bullpen and kind of just saying, look, if you can hold it here, great, but I'm not going to waste. I mean, you gotta play smart in that case, recognize the situation, understand it's a 7-game series in which you still have the lead, and do what you can to make sure that Brash and Munoz and the rest of your guys get the extra rest. No problems there. None. Once they pulled George, that's how you handle the bullpen. I don't have any issues. But it did feel, more to your point, as if that decision was made awfully early in the game. That in the 3rd inning, they were already like, well, let's start playing for tomorrow. And that surprised, because you're only down a couple runs against a guy that you had destroyed in the 1st inning. And I think there was some hope that you would continue to get to him over the course of the rest of the game. Now, look, you got a pitching edge again today as Scherzer has not been. This is not the Max Scherzer that you've seen, 5-10 years ago. This is a guy at age 41 that has really just been bombed in his last, 5 of his last 6 starts, and just really throughout the year. Once he went to the Blue Jays, got like an ERA over 5 in 17 starts. That's not the Max Scherzer that was winning Cy Young awards and dominating in the postseason. So, maybe you're just saying, hey, look, do what we can today, and then tomorrow we'll try to really play for all of the urgency, all the marbles. But you really now put a little pressure on yourself for tonight, because I think the last thing you want to do is let this series get tied up 2-2, and then you have to, no matter what, go back to Toronto, which I know you'd love to not do. Yeah, I don't know. I don't fully understand all of it. I do know that, and I'll keep saying, it's so funny, the amount of vitriol at me today. Like I had something to do with last night's loss. I did not. Do I think the Blue Jays are a good team? They're okay. I don't think they're great. I don't. I think the bullpen stinks. I think it stunk last night. As soon as they got him out of the game, what happened? Back-to-back home runs. Like, they've got major problems in their bullpen. You've got to find a way to get to it. I mean, heck, how many games did the Rockies win this year? Bad teams win. I'm not saying the Blue Jays are the Rockies. I'm just saying the best team doesn't win every single night. And they're going to be blowouts one way or another. Sorry. I've been saying this team is as good as any team, better than any team in the American League for 2.5 months. And they've played that way. And they've played that way during that time. I think they got an opportunity to win tonight, win tomorrow, and finish this thing off without ever going to Toronto. But it does strike me that on the, look, they've won 5 games in the postseason. They've lost 3. In the 3 games that they've lost, I think there have been questionable decisions made in all of them. And Brock and I will end up debating this a little bit at 7 o'clock because Brock is always pointing at players no matter what. And I disagree on that. Players go out there and they follow the process, and as long as their head's in the game, as long as they're, trying hard, putting in good effort, making good mental decisions, hey, you do your best and see what happens. I'm always looking at things that are within your control. Decisions that are made, effort that's given, and that encompasses, the manager, the general manager, the players, the coaching staff, like everybody to me falls under that. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Okay. Like, you do your best. Sometimes the other team has players too, right? Like that's a physical limitation. And some days in baseball you have it. Some days you don't. That is just unfortunately the nature of the game. But you got to put yourself in the absolute best position to win as often as possible. And right now, they've won 5, they've lost 3. They're in a phenomenal position, up 2-1 in the ALCS. Got an opportunity to try to close it out over the next 2 nights. We'll come right back. We'll give you guys everything you need to know next. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
Welp, the Blue Jays finally showed up here in the ALCS.
Deep to right field, that ain't coming back. And the Blue Jays now lead it 13-4.
On to Game 4 tonight at T-Mobile, where the Mariners look to bounce back.
This is a team that has done this a lot this year in terms of bouncing back.
And pull within 1 win of the World Series. First pitch at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167, some things will change after October 20th, and some things won't. If you ride without a Good-to-Go account, you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. Having Good-to-Go means it'll cost less than pay by mail. Not a change. Carpoolers will need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. A Good-to-Go pass saves you $2 on every toll. No change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
This Breast Cancer Awareness Month, choose care that puts you first. At Snoqualmie Valley Health, you won't wait weeks for a mammogram. Appointments are available now just 30 minutes east of Seattle. Experience the difference with advanced 3D mammography and our new Breast Health Suite, designed for accuracy, comfort, and peace of mind. If you're 40 and older, yearly screenings are recommended, and no referral is needed if you haven't had a mammogram in the past year. Don't wait. Detect early. Schedule today at snoqualmievalleyhealth.org.
Dave Wyman here, and after 20 years of living in our home, our window seals started breaking. That's when I called Harley Exteriors. They're huge fans of our teams and regular listeners at the station, but what really sold me was their Olympic Series windows, built right here in Washington, designed for Pacific Northwest homes and climate. That means cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter. They're beautiful windows that last up to 60 years, and they'll help with noise, too. Harley Exteriors knows you've been spending a ton on playoff tickets, so they have a special deal for Seattle sports listeners. No interest and no payments for an entire year. Also, buy one window and get the second one 40% off, and take another $200 off your entire project. They're the friendliest team and so easy to work with. You call the number and the person on the other line asks, "How can I make you smile today?" Just give them a ring and tell them you heard our ad. Call 833-HARLEY. That's 833-HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com.
They say a full marathon is the ultimate test. For me, it's more than a race. It's a milestone I once thought impossible. Michelle Smallman here, and I'm running my very first marathon in New York City with the support of Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assists, powered by Parity. Together, we're empowering girls and women through sports and education, with grants to 32 organizations in 21 states. Every step I take is for the finish line and for the next generation chasing their dreams. Here's to 26.2 miles and a future with no limits.
This one's for the flavor fanatics. Sour Apple 5-Hour Energy Shots don't mess around. They bring the bite. tart, tangy, and packed with tasty caffeine, this little 2-ounce bottle punches above its weight. With 0 sugar and as much caffeine as a 12-ounce premium cup of coffee, it's the kind of pick-me-up that keeps your taste buds happy without the crash. And it doesn't stop at sour apple. There are 17 bold flavors waiting for you to discover. Pick one up in store or stock up online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon today.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Hear that? Sounds like simple. Valvoline Instant Oil Change simple. No appointments. About 15 minutes to change your oil. Then out the door and back to life.
Yeah, honey, on my way.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Expert service doesn't need to be overcomplicated.
Open enrollment for Medicare happens every year, but for a lot of people, it's still confusing. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Don't worry, help is on the way with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit brought to you by the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Find out what's changing and learn about your options for Medicare with 7 easy steps to get ready for open enrollment. Order your free copy of the Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit at insurance.wa.gov or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends and explore the lively nightlife scene. The Dining District at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
As a quarterback, you cannot run a winning play with a messy playbook. And most companies' data, well, it's a mess. AI is changing the game, but if your data is scattered, you're stuck on the sidelines. Brock Heward here, and this is where my friends at Marquee Data come in. They get your data in shape, clean, connected, ready to perform, so you can finally put AI to work for your business. Whether sales, finance, or operations, every smart move starts with the right data. So head to MyDataQB.com to draw up your game-winning data play today. That's Marquee Data or MyDataQB.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Utter disaster last night in Game 3. Blue Jays, well, their bats showed up, that's for sure. The Mariners' arms did not. Started great. Julio Rodriguez destroying one to left center for a 2-0 lead, but then it went south quick.
Here's the 1-1. Swung on. That is ripped high, deep right field, and it is off the wall. Gets away from Robles. Guerrero scores. Kirk around third base. He's flying home. Varsho into second. A ringing 2-run double. And the Blue Jays add 2 more runs. It's 5-2 in the third.
Yeah, it kind of just kept going and going and going from there. Kirby gives up the 5 in the third, another in the fourth, another home run in the fifth before finally giving way to a bullpen that honestly was not much better. They give up 13 runs on the night, and yeah, obviously that's not good enough. Dan Wilson on his starter.
Yeah, I mean, again, the first couple innings, I thought he was dynamite and really came out at good location and good heaters coming out of his hand and was able to, keep him in check. And then, this is a team that's going to hurt you if you make mistakes on the plate. It looked like there were a couple that they were able to get to, and really that's where it was at that point. Our guys, we get ahead. That's what we do, and they'll continue to do that. But you still have to make good quality pitches, and there were some that caught a little bit of plate. But I thought again, the way he looked early on, I thought we were in good shape.
They were until they weren't, right? They do score a couple, Randy and Cal, back-to-back home runs in the eighth, but obviously not nearly enough. Game 4, though, tonight. 5:30, a little bit later start, not sure why. Luis Castillo goes on an extra day rest against what's left of Max Scherzer. 41-year-old had an ERA over 5 on 17 starts with the Blue Jays this season, including a couple of brutal ones in September. You got to get to him quick, get back to his bullpen, although Chris Bassett probably likely to piggyback him today as sort of a second starter. The one thing you know about this team more than anything else is they have found ways to bounce back. Just ask Julio.
I mean, like you said, it's just one game. I mean, they're here for a reason too. I think they're a really good team, and they came out swinging today, and they were able to definitely get the dub. But it's one game, and just kind of how we know they know that we got to line up tomorrow and play a baseball game again.
Yeah, that's what this team has done very, very well. So see him try to do it again tonight. NLCS will have Game 3 tonight as well. Series flips back to L.A. Dodgers up 2-0, of course. They'll throw Tyler Glass now. Brewers still haven't named a starter. I didn't look that hard, but looking at both ESPN and MLB.com, neither of them had a starter listed yet for the Brewers. So I guess at some point we'll find out who Milwaukee is going to throw out there to try to save their season.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Seahawks finally getting back to practice today. They had an extra day off before the Monday night game, and Mike McDonald chose to utilize it.
So, we've moved the schedule back. Basically, we're going to get, in Monday Night Football, you get the extra day, so we're going to use the extra day here on the front end and then keep our normal weekly cadence starting on Thursday.
All right, so that's what to expect there. I'm pretty curious to see how many members of their secondary are going to be able to return today to practice. Played awfully well, though, without some of their top guys. I'll tell you one person who I thought had a really good game was Nick Eamon-Wari, and looking forward to seeing how he can expand his profile over the course of the next few weeks. Pretty shocked to see the Seahawks at number 13 in Ralph Vacchiano's rankings on Fox Sports. Has the Seahawks at 13, behind the Niners, who are falling apart, behind the Jags, who they just beat, the Steelers, who they've beaten, a whole bunch of other teams, obviously, as well. And then I looked it up and saw that Ralph Vacchiano used to write for the New York Daily News and that he's a New Yorker himself. And then it all came clear. He doesn't know who the Seahawks are. And so I just kind of moved on. For whatever it's worth, NFL.com's Eric Edholm has them as the number 3 team in the NFL, behind only the Bucs and Lions.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Kraken back at it tonight in Ottawa. Don't know who will be in goal. I wonder if it'll be Joey Decord for a 4th time, or if we get our first look at either Philip Grubauer or Matt Murray. Remember, they're carrying 3 goaltenders to start the year. Senators off to a not great start. Plus, they played last night. Could be a little tired. Thursday Night Football tonight as well. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. A battle of 40-year-olds, Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers. What does Mr. Flacco think of that?
Has it happened before? I'm sure there's been some old guys. Brady and Breeze, yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. When I'm I've been in a locker room my whole life. So age isn't something that I think about. I just view myself as one of those 20-something-year-olds in the locker room. And so it's not something I really think about. But I think one day when you look back on it, it's just one of those things that'll be pretty cool to be able to, have a matchup like this.
Yeah, Brady, Breeze, Rodgers, and Flacco.
Yeah, same.
just how you would draw that one up. Just how you draw it up. All right, that's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. Man, let's see. What do we want to do? Salk, I don't have FS1. What's the best way to watch all this? Yeah, Fubo's great. You get FS1 on Fubo. That's, fairly inexpensive. You could go to a sports bar and watch the game there. You could also, listen to the game on the Seattle Sports app or on the radio. There's a lot of options. I don't know. It's the postseason. You got to go figure that out, right? Yeah, if you got to spend Fubo, you can cancel whenever you want.
Free trial of something at this point.
Yeah, YouTube TV, Fubo, whatever you want, DirecTV. I don't know, but you should be able to, even if you cancel it again in a month. It's the postseason. This isn't the last time you're going to have this problem. I don't know what to tell you. I think that's something you got to do. That's something you just got to figure out. All right. What else do I want to do here? We're going to play some Alex Rodriguez. What'd you think of A-Rod yesterday? I think he's such a fascinating character. Spent a lot of time talking about him in my life. And he's obviously interested in a completely, different, being viewed differently, a different legacy than the one he's largely remembered for. I think you can hear that come out of this interview and a whole lot more, and a lot of baseball conversation in here as well. Stick around. It's coming up next on Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com.
Well, the Blue Jays finally showed up here in the ALCS.
Deep to right field, that ain't coming back. And the Blue Jays now lead it 13-4.
On to Game 4 tonight at T-Mobile, where the Mariners look to bounce back.
This is a team that has done this a lot this year in terms of bouncing back.
And pull within one win of the World Series. First pitch at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
All right, we're going to watch a 41-year-old pitch tonight. He is nearing retirement, and my guess is with the amount of money he's made in his career, that's not going to be much of an issue. But for everybody else, for us normal folks, you got to start thinking about retirement well in advance. It's not just something you can decide to do on a whim, and I know I'm thinking about it quite a bit. I don't know when that day is going to come, reading the text messages today. Some of you would like it to come sooner than later. Believe me, where do I sign up? I'd be happy to go travel for the rest of my life, but you got to start planning long before that event actually occurs. It's why you talk to Trajan Wealth. They can help schedule your life over the next however many years until retirement so that you have the money you need to do what you want to at the end. If you got an old 401k, maybe you're not sure what to do with it, call Trajan Wealth today. Discuss how to optimize those funds and get that money working for you again. Their core philosophies include low expenses, manager tenure, and tax efficiency as well. Just a couple key qualities that differentiate a Trajan Wealth portfolio from their competitors. So call Trajan Wealth today. Schedule just a complimentary introductory meeting to learn more about them. 206-466-3300. Again, 206-466-3300, or go to TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
At Cressy Door, we have the perfect garage door for you. Come visit our brand new garage door and fireplace showroom and let our experts help you find the perfect garage door. Cressy Door.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
At West Hills Autoplex, we thoroughly inspect and prepare every used car to be like new. Because to you, it is new. We also pay you top dollar for your vehicle. So there's no better place to give your old car a new story. Auto Center Way exit, Highway 3 Bremerton.
Coach Saban here. On the field or on your walls, coverage matters. That's why I go with Behr Marquee Interior Paint and Primer from the Home Depot.
Exceptional hide, advanced stain blocking, and over 1,000 colors to choose from. Behr Marquee delivers one-coat coverage that stands up to real life. One-coat coverage, no overtime. Behr Marquee, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid only when tinted to colors from the Behr Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Collection.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt ductless heat pump system from Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings, and every Quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Where you hear the AL West champion Mariners in the ALCS, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
Fall rains can expose hidden roof problems, and once water gets in, the damage only gets worse. Is your roof ready for the season? Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. At State Roofing and Exteriors, we repair and replace roofs with a quality you've trusted for decades. And yes, we also provide siding, windows, decks, and gutters to keep your entire home protected. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Do you need glasses or contacts and you're now at the age where you also need readers? K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to eliminate the need for all those. Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. Andy, for those nearing age 50 or so, refractive lens exchange can be a great alternative to LASIK.
That's right, Joe. K2 Vision RLE is a terrific permanent solution for a lifetime of great vision. The older we get, we experience the dysfunction of our natural lens, which affects both distance vision and requires the use of reading glasses. Plus, after K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
And like LASIK, K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless. The question is, which procedure is right for you?
After replacing more than 100,000 failing lenses, we have the experience to tell you if it's your right time for RLE.
Schedule your free Zoom consultation with us about K2 Vision RLE to get your eyes seeing young again, permanently.
Go to K2VisionRLE.com, K2VisionRLE.com.
Your time is money, so why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, rolling along here, Brock. Let's finish up today's show. About 25 more minutes to go, and what a treat to be able to spend some of that time with Alex Rodriguez, former Mariner, and, of course, one of the pregame hosts for Fox and FS1. We've been watching him throughout this little run here, and he joins us right now. Good morning, Alex. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Well, we were hoping this would happen, Alex. You joined us, last year or so, 2 years ago, and we were hoping at some point, at some time, right, we're going to get Burkhart, we're going to get Big Papi, we're going to get Jeter, we're going to get A-Rod, we're going to get to the ALCS. At what point in this season, Alex, did you think the Mariners could be in this position?
Well, you never know, guys, because, I mean, obviously it's been pretty, dry for about 25 years since 2000 and 2001, where both teams went to the ALCS. And you just never know. I mean, the American League is stacked. And you see how hard it was to get here. And obviously that Game 5 was just epic. I mean, talk about name of franchise has had two more epic Game 5s in one history than the Mariners. But they certainly have come around the corner. And I certainly think getting over that 15-inning kind of mountain, they came out, and we talked about it in the telecast, as a much more relaxed team in Game 1 and 2 on the road.
So you've been pretty high on them, though. I mean, just kind of watching these pre- and post-game shows and kind of hearing you talk about the Mariners, you seem like you've got a pretty good sense of what makes them tick. Why have you been high on this team?
Yeah, actually, I've been getting destroyed by my colleagues because everybody's been so pro Toronto.
Well, your colleague. I mean, I want to be fair, and I have to say it. Your colleagues honestly sound not biased, not like they don't like the Mariners, but like most of America, and especially people on the East Coast, like they just haven't really seen them much. And I don't blame anybody for that. The Mariners haven't been on a lot of national TV over the last few years, but it just kind of sounds like they don't know that much about them.
It's such a strange thing, as an alum from my Mariners, and I love the Mariners, love the fans, love that stadium. I'm having to basically be the voice of Seattle to our national audience and help them understand that when you play in Seattle, even though Griffey and myself and Edgar, we had such a great group, led by Lou Piniella, of course, and Randy Johnson, Dan Wilson. I mean, we were on national TV as much as anybody, like we were in a big market. But there's a chip on the shoulder, and I've been explaining to the national audience that, baseball's king, especially when you have a team like this one that is so fun to watch and so exciting, and it's Amazon, it's Starbucks, and it's the Mariners. So so far I'm 2-0. Hopefully it continues the mojo for Seattle.
Yeah, you do know this fan base, Alex. You did play here. You did go to 3 different playoffs with these fans, and it was in a different building, that Kingdom, that rocked a little bit. From your life experience, what do you think a trip to the World Series would mean for this fan base?
Boy, I mean, talk about, full circle. I mean, 30 years ago, baseball was saved by another Game 5, double by Edgar Martinez that scored Griffey, and I welcomed them as a 18 or 19-year-old at home plate. I just think that it would, take this franchise, from one of the best in baseball, one of the best in sports, to really elite, and I could not be more hopeful for those fans up there that have been such great fans for such a long time. They deserve it. And it will be a game changer, to tell you the truth.
Well, the guy who played hero in that Game 5 was Jorge Polanco. He's been a hero now through the first couple games of the ALCS as well. Does he remind you of anyone you played with, anyone you've been around in the game? Who does Jorge Polanco remind you of?
In a weird way, you're going to laugh here. Another switch hitter from Puerto Rico, Joey Cora. And I guess the difference is Polanco's Dominican, but it's usually those guys, that are not the headliners that make you turn that corner, that are the real big difference makers. And look, when the Tigers went into the Mariners, obviously you have Kyle Raleigh and Rosarena, and obviously Julio's been great. The last guy you're probably thinking about is Polanco, and here we go. Here's the guy that, has been the MVP so far for this Mariners postseason. He's been incredible. And the fact that he was hurt, a lot of people thought he wasn't going to make it, past the last couple of years. It was a great signing by management, and boy, has it paid dividends.
Do you think, Alex Rodriguez here with us, you all know the voice anyway, do you think if we had heart rate monitors on guys, I've always clamored for this, especially in football, built into the shoulder pads, be really easy to do. I'd love to see it, Alex, of just what is their heartbeat, what is their heart rate? From the outside, it looks like Polanco's never changes. Do you think if we actually had heart rate monitors, we would see a lot of variance between different players?
I mean, watching Polanco and how cool, calm, and collected, it might get a little spike, but it might just get back to flat really quickly. There's some people, look, I'm playing with 2 guys, playing, when I say playing, whatever my playing days are, blocked and relayed, is going to the set. But I work with 2 guys to my left in Jeter and Poppy, and where they're the gold standard of keeping an even, heartbeat. So it's fun to watch with those guys. And there's some guys like Polanco that, they do the opposite of shrinking, right? They grow in the biggest moments. And you can tell with the demeanor and reading body language in the post and pregame interviews that he's just a calm, cool, and collected guy.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been spending a lot of the morning talking about pressure, talking about killer instinct for whatever that means in the game of baseball, and kind of what it means to be up 2-0 in a series like this. How do you think the modern baseball player, the modern athlete, deals with pressure?
Well, I would say this. I mean, players have never had more pressure than today. They've never had more voices. Excuse me. They've never had more white noise to deal with. That's why, I was making the point with Jeter and Big Papi and Kevin Burkhart in our pregame that I predicted that the Mariners would be much better in Game 1, because once you kind of stare at death, and you did probably 10 different times in that 15-inning game, once you get over that mountain, you kind of have a sigh of relief, and you're saying, okay, we won, but we got away with a couple, big mistakes, or we got away with not dying. And the energy was one that was fresh, it was new, and it was more loosey-goosey, and they played really well.
So that's when you come out of that, and really there's, in some ways, no pressure on them in the beginning of the series. How do you handle being up 2-0, right? The prosperity of coming back now, and it's like, hey, you got to go close it out. It's a totally different, I would think, a totally different emotional state.
Totally different. I mean, you go from being in a David and Goliath kind of, matchup, you end up switching roles. All of a sudden, you're up 2-0. You're going to your home base with the great fan base of Seattle in a beautiful building, and all of a sudden you become David instead of Goliath. And that's the hardest thing in sports, is having to close out. Game 3 is going to be really, really difficult. And obviously the last game, that's why you have some of the greatest closers in the game, like Mariano Rivera. Those last 3 outs, those last win in the series always are the most challenging one. I think you got to keep yourself in tunnel vision and pretend you're still 0-0 or 1-1, and don't believe the hype when you get home. Don't get comfortable. Don't get distracted. It's really about doing exactly what you've been doing. And I joked about it. Even if you have to go to the DoubleTree down the street and stay away from everybody to stay focused, do it, because this is something that your whole life, your whole sports career, it's at stake here, your legacy.
And don't you think you're going to get Toronto's very best shot tonight as well?
There's no question about it. I mean, these guys are great players. They're very well managed. They have a blue-collar approach, and they're coming out swinging. And they're going to be more focused, and they're going to be away from home. No more fanfare. I think you have to be able to sustain and absorb that punch, but it's coming.
I was thinking about you, Alex, and we're talking to Alex Rodriguez in a conversation about Julio Rodriguez, and both of you came through the Mariners system with incredibly high expectations. Both of you incredibly talented young players who came to the big leagues probably, early in your life, or earlier than most guys make it to the big leagues, and had some immediate level of success. And in Julio's case, it felt, and I can't speak for him, but it felt anyway like there was a bit of a burden of expectation, a bit of a burden of leadership, and everything kind of being focused on him. This year, he decided not to go to the All-Star game, and in the meantime, Cal Raleigh really took the mantle of being the one player that everyone was talking about. He wore a lot of the leadership for the team. What, just kind of drawing on your own experience, what do you think that could have done for Julio this year?
Well, a few things. It's funny you say that, because I feel so attached, and he's my good buddy. He's like my little bro, Rodriguez. He's a phenomenal athlete. He's a phenomenal person. But young people need great leadership. And it's funny that we're both Dominican. We both were Rodriguez. We both played for the great Seattle in the Northwest, he plays. And I had great leaders in Lou Piniella, Edgar Martinez, Jay Buhner, Ken Griffey. I mean, guys that to this day I absolutely adore because of what they did for me. And they were such great role models. He goes from feeling the way he was feeling to now he has Dan Wilson, who's a mentee of Lou Piniella, and he has the great Edgar Martinez. And I think DePino, the head of baseball over there, has done a great job of bringing in analytics, but also having the old school kind of legacy players that could not be more respected, not only in Seattle, but around the baseball community. You're not going to find better than Dan Wilson. You're not going to find better than Edgar Martinez. So I spent a lot of time with Julio this year on FaceTime and Zooming on things he wanted to work on. And, really, really proud of the work he's doing. But like I told him the other day, he's got more work to do.
Did you think Danny would do this one day when you were a teammate of his and watching him through and continuing to be around the Mariners organization? Did you think he would be a skipper one day?
No, you know what I thought he would end up doing? And it's funny because he went to the University of Minnesota. I thought he would end up being like a priest or a preacher or some type of philanthropy. I mean, I knew that he's a great husband. He's a great son. He's a great father. He's one of the greatest teammates around. He's beloved in Seattle. Everywhere Dan Wilson goes, he's loved. And there's a reason why Lou Piniella brought him from Cincinnati, because he knew what kind of person he was. I didn't think he would be managing, but I thought, Brock and Salk, that he would be in some type of leadership role with a higher purpose, and I think he's doing that right now for Seattle.
They got a higher purpose, man. They got another round to go. I mean, you got to try to win the ALCS, get to a place they've never been before. One challenge that we've talked about, and there's a lot to. I really think they're the most talented team in the American League between the depth of the lineup, the starting staff, rotation, and then the bullpen, especially the leverage guys. But it is interesting. Once you get beyond 3-4 guys in the bullpen, you start to have challenges. And again, kind of thinking back on your career, I do think about the 2004 season and some of the lack of depth in the Yankee pen that year that felt like it came back to bite you in the ALCS as Quantrill and Gordon kind of wore out a little bit or wore down. How do you look at relievers kind of gearing themselves up to get as many appearances as they have to go through an entire postseason?
Yeah, boy, you just brought back some awful memory. So thank you.
I grew up in Boston. I can't help it, Alex. I'm sorry.
Alex,
you
really
have to understand that's
really
like the greatest moment of my sport watching career. There's only I just can't not bring it up. I'm sorry.
I can hear it in the excitement in your voice. I love it. No, but in all seriousness, I mean, look, when you look at the underbelly of any pitching staff, is that kind of softer part of the bullpen. And when you look at the best teams, the way they've done it, they really try to surround themselves with 2 to 4 guys that they can count on. But in a 7-game series, or even multiple game series, if you want to go to the World Series and win it, you're going to depend on more than 2 or 4 guys. And I think the key is you got to be aware that there's huge ramifications when you pull out pitchers so early in game 1. I thought Snyder, the Blue Jays manager, made a mistake by pulling Gosman in game 1 after 76 pitches. That's okay in a regular season when you can manipulate rosters in and out. But in a 7-game series, that means you give the Mariners a double win. 1, they win the game 3-1, but 2, they get 4 free looks at that bullpen that then they're going to go out and face 3 or 4 times in the next 7 or 8 days, advantage Mariners. So if you had to play it again, if Gosman can go his average 95 pitches instead of 76, maybe the Mariners get 2 free looks, but they don't get the looks they got. And then obviously in game 2, was it Verland who gave up the home run? Mm-hmm. Verland gives up the home run to Judge. Then he starts the next day, and then he pitches game 1. Those it ends up and adding up.
Last couple things for me here, A-Rod. How big of a deal, since you've been in all these environments, how big a deal really is 47,000 rocking that building tonight? I know what it does in football. I know the noise that it creates, the chaos communication, the half-step advantage for a defense, all of those things. But from a baseball perspective, in an ALCS, how big of a deal is that crowd really?
I mean, look, I was there, and I love playing at home. I love the fans. It really is the 10th man and an incredible home field advantage. And don't forget, guys, that whoever's usually flying to Seattle is going to be on a flight for at least 3 hours. And that becomes I know that when I was there for 7 years, it was a huge competitive advantage for us. Now you just got to own your home field and protect it.
And then lastly, we asked Jeff Passan this yesterday, and you baseball guys always seem to know ahead of everybody else how these games are going to unfold, take shape, because you've been a part of so many of them. Give me a couple of the biggest keys for the Mariners to close this thing out in this homestand over the next 3 nights.
Well, I think the first 3 innings are going to be vital for the Mariners, because we're going to see, how the Mariners can deal with success. And with the Blue Jays, we're going to see how they deal with some, adversity in the first couple of innings. And it remains the same thing it always has for over 100 years. You got to pitch, you got to defend, you got to have timely hitting. And when you get those runners at second, if you don't want to bunt, you better get them over to third base, because you don't want the difference of going to the World Series or not, because you couldn't advance the runner 90 feet. And they got away with that in Game 5. But against a team like Toronto, I don't think they'll be able to get away with that.
Got to give you credit, man. Dealing with the New York media as long as you did. I was just listening to Craig Carton today call Bryce Miller a journeyman. What did he call him? A journeyman tool?
Bum.
I mean, essentially said that he was somebody that no one should even think about. Dealing with what you dealt with as long as you did in the New York press, I'm impressed. I got to tell you, to bite your tongue on a daily basis has to be challenging.
Well, I don't know if anything to do with media. I've done well at anything, but I certainly enjoyed my time. And I'll tell you, some of my greatest memories in my life has been with my mom, with my sister, with my brother, with Chuck Armstrong, Woody Woodward, Lou Piniella. A lot of my life is shaped because of my time in Seattle, and I certainly miss it.
Wow, it's very nice of you to say, and a lot of nice feedback coming through our text line right now as well. Alex, thanks for a second appearance here on the show. We really appreciate it, and we'll look forward to
now when they go to the World Series, we'll be bothering you again.
Yeah, that's probably true. We'll probably bother you next week if they go to the World Series.
We'll do it again.
All righty.
Good luck, guys.
Well, there you go. That was Alex Rodriguez taking some time with us yesterday. Obviously, that was before the loss, and emotions were in a different spot than they are necessarily this morning. But just kind of thinking about A-Rod and the Seattle connection, it kind of led us down the road yesterday of looking at that 1996 MVP voting, and actually heard some interesting stories. I don't want to say, but there may be more information and a cool story coming out about that MVP vote. So just look for it. It'll when it comes out, I'll maybe tell you guys more about it. But A-Rod just still strikes me as somebody who I've always felt like he's somebody who needs to be liked, who wants to be liked, who's concerned with his legacy. I think that he shares some personality traits, not to say that all three people are the same, but I think Alex Rodriguez, Russell Wilson, LeBron James share some personality traits. They're all different. They have different ability levels, and they have sort of different storylines and story arcs. They're not exactly the same. Obviously, Russ, his personality ended up sort of being his undoing. In LeBron's case, I think he's actually made some great strides over his career, and being arguably the best to ever play has really helped him in all the championships. And then in A-Rod's case, obviously the steroid stuff becomes a part of the story as well. But all three of them just have like a real desire to think about their legacy and need to be liked. A need to fit, by everybody, to have some difficulty with the choices they make, and understanding that it's going to upset some people when you decide to do one thing over another. And I think he's trying now to kind of make up for that. And you can hear in the conversation there a desire to be, I don't know, in some way re-included in the Seattle history and the Seattle Mariners organization. Really, that for the most part, Lyle, you've mentioned this before, kind of ignores him and kind of erases him from the history when he might be the best player that ever played for the team, along with Ken Griffey Jr. Yeah, I think that's all very fair. As you watch Jay Buhner come in last night and you watch Randy Johnson and the cheers that they get and the love that they receive, do you think Alex Rodriguez could get that same love if he came back and threw out a first pitch? I don't think so still. And I think some moments like this help. Not that like coming on the Brock and Salk show is the be-all, end-all, but that's now twice he's been on with us, and both times I think has really made a pretty concerted effort to say, hey, I love Seattle. I love the fans. I look back on my time there with a lot of fondness. I learned a lot. I love the organization. There are people there that I respect and who I learned a lot from. Whether or not you believe it, I think is hard for some people who have just sort of heard it from A-Rod before and kind of heard what they would probably describe as pandering. I think that's probably some of that similarity that you get between Russ and LeBron and A-Rod is just kind of a little bit of pandering, I think, or at least a perception of it. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see whether or not that ends up changing over time. But as we sit here this morning, a lot of frustration, a lot of shell shock after the Blue Jays roared to life last night. We saw a completely different lineup than the one we saw in games 1 and 2. Am I concerned? No. I mean, look, it's a short series, 7 games. Anything can happen. And now that's down to what, 4 games? 4-game series? 2 here, 2 there, right? Unless you can close it out earlier. Maximum of 4 games, anything can happen in a short stretch like that. But the one thing that you could say about this team more than anything else is that they are remarkably resilient. Probably more resilient than a lot of us are, right? When we panic, when we worry that everything's toast, when we get upset, they don't. They stay calm, they bounce back, and the next day they're loose as a goose, and they go out there and find ways to win again. So they have yet to lose back-to-back times here in the postseason. They're going to put that on the line later tonight. We'll be right back. Brock's in. We got a lot to talk about, including what went wrong last night and what should happen next. Don't go anywhere. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
The one and only Mark Schlereth. Every Monday at 4 during the NFL season with Wyman and Bob.
Are you following the playoffs?
Listen, man, I grew up in Anchorage, Alaska. Alaska adopted the Seahawks, and Alaska adopted the Mariners. So, yeah, of course I will adopt the Mariners. They're a great story. They're fun.
Good to have you on our side.
Certainly am not going to root for a Canadian team. Give me a break.
On Seattle Sports, on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Northwest homeowners, when it comes to your roof, you need a name you can trust. Techline Roofing has proudly served the Seattle area for years, delivering exceptional results and lasting security. Choose Techline Roofing. Your trust is our foundation. Trust Techline.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here with Luke Wilson, a local owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
Thanks, Rick. Just like October baseball, Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington is stepping up to the plate. Mention Go Seattle when you schedule and you'll score 15% off plus 12 months with no payments and no interest. This is your chance to swing big. This offer won't be around for extra innings.
Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
The playoffs are here, and Toyota Kirkland and Toyota Renton are bringing the heat with a rotation that's built to win. The Gas RAV4, built for every inning of Northwest life. Or go versatile with the hybrid RAV4. The Tacoma, tough, dependable, and always clutch. And now, stepping up, the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra, redesigned, powerful, and built for big moments. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. Visit ToyotaKirkland.com and ToyotaRenton.com and get your championship ride.
This Breast Cancer Awareness Month, choose care that puts you first. At Snoqualmie Valley Health, you won't wait weeks for a mammogram. Appointments are available now, just 30 minutes east of Seattle. Experience the difference with advanced 3D mammography and our new Breast Health Suite, designed for accuracy, comfort, and peace of mind. If you're 40 and older, yearly screenings are recommended, and no referral is needed if you haven't had a mammogram in the past year. Don't wait. Detect early. Schedule today at SnoqualmieValleyHealth.org.
As a quarterback, you cannot run a winning play with a messy playbook. And most companies' data, well, it's a mess. AI is changing the game, but if your data is scattered, you're stuck on the sidelines. Brock Heward here, and this is where my friends at Marquee Data come in. They get your data in shape, clean, connected, ready to perform, so you can finally put AI to work for your business. Whether sales, finance, or operations, every smart move starts with the right data. So head to MyDataQB.com to draw up your game-winning data play today. That's Marquee Data or MyDataQB.com.
The playoffs are here, and Toyota Kirkland and Toyota Renton are bringing the heat with a rotation that's built to win. The Gas RAV4, built for every inning of Northwest life. Or go versatile with the hybrid RAV4. The Tacoma, tough, dependable, and always clutch. And now, stepping up, the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra, redesigned, powerful, and built for big moments. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. Visit ToyotaKirkland.com and ToyotaRenton.com and get your championship ride.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today.
They say a full marathon is the ultimate test. For me, it's more than a race. It's a milestone I once thought impossible. Michelle Smallman here, and I'm running my very first marathon in New York City with the support of Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assists, powered by Parity. Together, we're empowering girls and women through sports and education, with grants to 32 organizations in 21 states. Every step I take is for the finish line and for the next generation chasing their dreams. Here's to 26.2 miles and a future with no limits.
This one's for the flavor fanatics. Sour Apple 5-Hour Energy Shots don't mess around. They bring the bite. Tart, tangy, and packed with tasty caffeine, this little 2-ounce bottle punches above its weight. With zero sugar and as much caffeine as a 12-ounce premium cup of coffee, it's the kind of pick-me-up that keeps your taste buds happy without the crash. And it doesn't stop at Sour Apple. There are 17 bold flavors waiting for you to discover. Pick one up in store or stock up online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon today.
Baseball Baseball's postseason is here. Seattle Sports Playoff coverage is presented by Honey Bucket, 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to give you a moon.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now, here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Hello!
All right, not what anyone was hoping for last night. It started off, Brock, a great scene with Randy Johnson and Jay Buhner. Randy not going to the mound, by the way. I don't know if could you see all of it on TV? Did they show the first pitch and all that?
Ooh, they showed him walking out. Did they show whether or not?
So Randy went out, huge ovation. I mean, obviously everybody excited, and the Guns N' Roses playing, and he went out and did not go to the mound. Stayed in front of the mound. And Logan came out with him to catch it and got down in a catcher squat. And Randy was like, no, stand up. Like, he wanted no part of a legitimate, like, I'm the big unit throwing a pitch. It was, I'm just going to lob this sucker in and we're going to move on. And that's what he did. And then
he's a different 51 than another 51.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, very different.
Yep. And then Jay came out and fired up the crowd, didn't curse, and Julio hit the home run. And, it felt like just a continuation of that party vibe. And then all of a sudden in the third inning, it was like a record screech, man. Like, everything stopped.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Everything went the other way. It just... Man, when it rains, it pours, right? And you've seen all the awful numbers. I'm not going to go through them all morning, all the home runs and all the runs and all the hits. And like it was just an ugly game. And at some point, it was obviously conceded in order to try to move on and play for the next day. I think what surprised me and a lot of others was how early it felt like it was conceded. That it had more of the feel of a regular season game where you just tell the starting pitcher, hey, man, gotta wear it. And I don't understand that decision making in the third, fourth, and fifth innings of what was still a close enough game in the ALCS. I didn't get that last night.
Would you have gone to? I mean, you're not proposing going to your leverage guys in the third inning, are you?
I don't know what I'm proposing. I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, if you're proposing that, then I would disagree with that. If you're proposing, hey, at 5-2. And it's 6-2 after maybe the next home. Like, okay, let's get right now to Vargas and Ferguson and Emerson and
I don't know. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is this, and Brock, you and I were sort of arguing about it last night, and we can continue some of that today. I guess being there, I think what jumped out. I don't know what the right moves were. I don't know who's feeling what in the bullpen. I don't know who's tired and could have really used an extra day of rest. I don't know what they're expecting today from Luis without knowing how they have it all mapped out, it's difficult to come in, with a flying elbow off the top rope. But I was very surprised in watching the third inning as Kirby was clearly losing it. Not that they didn't pull him immediately, but that there was no movement in the bullpen. That there's no one getting ready. There was none of that urgency of like, this guy might have just lost it. We got to be prepared just in case. And then he goes back out for the fourth after giving up 5 runs. And for the entirety of the fourth inning, still no one warming. And he gives up another run and a home run. And then he goes back out for the fifth, now with people warmed up and ready, but sending him back out for the fifth to give up another home run. And at that point, you say, well, look, at 5-2, they were still in the game. At 6-2, all right, you're still in the game-ish, although you're going to have to score 7 runs to win. By the time it gets to 7-2 and you're kind of looking at scoring 8-9 runs to win, you've sort of punted on that game, and now you are into kind of the low leverage, we've given up sort of portion of your bullpen. And at that point, I mean, the final score becomes almost meaningless. So I don't know. It was surprising, I would say that.
Okay. 2 things jump out to me. Once again, how baseball players, when you talk to them, they just seem to know. What did A-Rod say to us was going to be the biggest key?
First couple innings?
The first 3 innings.
Yep.
The first 3 innings are going to be pretty significant.
It's true.
And my goodness gracious. Yeah, and George through 2 looked like he had his stuff. Smoltzy's like, well, here comes the curve. Yep, there it is. Strike him out in the, Santander in the first. And the second, he's super sharp. And then the third, I mean, this is why the Blue Jays are the number 1 seed as well. right? This is why they got to 90-plus wins. Even without their stud shortstop, you get their star going, and Vlad is the straw that stirs that drink, and the rest of them just kind of got going. And to me, this was going to be a bit of a dangerous game because they're in absolutely desperation mode.
Mm-hmm.
They could not fall behind 3-0. Series is over, right? Find a way to win this one. Find a way to get the bats going. Find a way to get some goodwill. And that third inning was huge for them. And then the question does become, okay, 5-2, and they put up some runs. Do you then use your leverage guys?
I don't know exactly what you do. I mean, Vargas is sort of the guy in between, and that was kind of where he went. And maybe you start Vargas in the fourth inning coming off of the 5-2 and sort of see where it takes you. That would probably have been, look, here's the other part of it. And this is where sort of feel becomes, I think, just as important in this case as numbers. We've seen this with Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
When he's on, he's on. Good luck, man. He's a dude. But when he's not, he's had a real hard time getting it back in game, right? I mean, we've seen that before. Remember the game we went to when we first was it that one where
was it the Pirates when they hit 9 home runs?
Yeah, like there've been games. Was that a game we went to together where Kirby just got absolutely shelled? Like we've seen that a few times where it's like, all right, George just doesn't have it today, and when he doesn't have it, he's batting practice because of he throws a lot of strikes and they catch too much of the plate, and guys just start teeing off. And unfortunately, starting in the third inning last night, it just sort of turned into that. So you and I may split a little bit on where blame pie goes. Brock, I know that players play. I know that players are more important and more relevant to the outcome of a game than any manager or managerial decision will ever be. Players in baseball are everything, and managers are minimized, certainly compared to coaches in the NFL.
I'm sensitive to this one, by the way. Let me just add this in. I was thinking through our little fight last night, and sorry, once again, kids, Mom and Dad were fighting last night. At least Dad went to bed, and I didn't do it, with the sun going down angry. I said, you know what, we'll be friends in the morning, but we're going to leave this conversation now. I'm going to go take 2 melatonin. I'm going to go to bed. So sorry, brother and sister, Lyle and Maura, you had to be around for Mom and Dad's fighting last night. But I think why I'm sensitive, honestly, a little more to this one is because I've hated it for 20-something years when I hear football coaches, different sport, yes, but when I hear football coaches say, well, called the right play, put them in the right position, did everything I could do, go out and make plays.
Well, no one's saying the manager should say that.
I understand
that would be rough. Don't say that.
I understand that, but I've heard enough coaches say that, hey, my process was right. Hey, I did the scheme right. Hey, I put him in the right position. Hey, it's a player's fault. Like, don't blame me. Like, I'm like, no, I'm blaming you, because you are a part of it. Even if you call the right play, the players still have to go out there and perform. The players have to do their job. They're in the arena of competition.
Understood.
Going out there to compete.
I think when you look at baseball, at least the way I do, the game is so hard and there's so much failure for everybody in it. If you try your hardest and you give yourself the best process and you can control everything that you can control, then the results are what they are. I mean, you can get upset about them, but getting upset and assigning blame to them, to me, gets a lot harder versus looking at, the decisions that are made, which are in your control, which are something you have some level. No one else is making that decision. You get to make it yourself. And I was thinking about it, Brock. Actually, I continued to think about it last night after we stopped talking for the night. And I was thinking that for the most part, all of the big, horrible baseball moments of my life, in almost all of them, the person who's had to wear it either has been or should have been the person who made the decision, or somebody who made an error, like an actual mental. Bill Buckner. But even for the most part, I think for a long time, most people don't blame Bill Buckner. They blame the manager, John McNamara, for leaving him in there. He shouldn't have been in there. He could barely walk. And again, that's an error. I've never heard anyone blamed for not getting a hit. I've never heard anyone blamed for giving up a home run. When you think of the Kirk Gibson home run, do you blame the pitcher?
Nope.
Do you know who the pitcher was?
Dennis Ecker.
That's right. Nobody Eck. God, he just totally blew it. No. He went to war, right? You celebrate the guy who got the hit and won that battle between pitcher and hitter. And so that's why I would never look at it and be like, George is at fault here. George should have done better. He went out there and pitched. At some point, it became clear that the other team was better than him on that night, and I'm surprised that he was in there as long as he was. Does that make sense?
To a degree, yeah. And then, again, you have to then say, okay, then what were we going to do? Were we really going to, at 5-2, do you really want to go to Spire? Do you really want to go to Brash? Do you really want to use those guys? Or do you have like feel like these guys are seeing the ball tonight and they're hitting the ball? And you know what? We're not. We had a chance to step on them, by the way, in that first inning.
Yep, couldn't do it.
Yep. You know, we kicked them, but we had a chance to step on
100%
and put up a crooked number and get Beaver out of that game.
Brock, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know what they should have done or if there was anything else that could have happened. I think I'd probably just go to Vargas to start the fourth. Yeah. If you're pinning me down, I'm not saying that's a great option. And obviously he didn't pitch well last night either.
Yep.
I think that's what I'm doing. It's 5-2, and I'm bringing somebody else out to start the fourth inning. But you know what? Unfortunately, it got away from them. So now you got to do what you've done all year, which is bounce back from a tough loss. We'll discuss that in greater detail in 20 minutes after everything you need to know next.
Well, the Blue Jays finally showed up here in the ALCS.
Deep to right field, that ain't coming back. And the Blue Jays now lead it 13-4.
On to Game 4 tonight at T-Mobile, where the Mariners look to bounce back.
This is a team that has done this a lot this year in terms of bouncing back.
And pull within one win of the World Series. First pitch at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, look, as we sit here watching some of these games, I do think about all the hard work that goes into the preparation, to getting ready to play, to actually what takes place on the field. And I think about how long and how much time those players spend. It doesn't have to be nearly as much if you're just trying to drop a little bit of weight. You can do it with the help of Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. A few short months. It's really all it takes. You could be down 25, 35 pounds or more, and you could do it, let's say, by Thanksgiving. It's like a month and a half away, not even. I did the program. I lost 25 pounds in a month. I lost 35 pounds overall. No pills, no injections, no counting calories, no prepackaged meals, nothing. You follow a plan, you buy good food that you buy at the grocery store, and it tastes good because there's good recipes, and you're not hungry because of the way the whole thing works. A couple of months of that, you could do it. I promise. I did it myself. And all it takes to get started is a free 15-minute phone call. Book one today at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
If you use the SR 167 Express toll lanes after October 20th without a good-to-go account, you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A good-to-go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the Comfort People at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Progressive presents a testimonial of sorts.
Hey, slow down! Oh yeah? Well, you drive like my grandma. She's a very attentive and courteous driver who wears a seatbelt and always uses her turn signals. She's also a talented painter and has very low cholesterol. Not that that has anything to do with her driving, just thought a more complete picture of who she is might be interesting. Anyway, have a nice day.
Safe driver? Get Snapshot from Progressive and get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Right now, receive up to a $25 O'Reilly gift card after rebate with the purchase of select Superstart batteries at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up?
At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
Cancer impacts so many families, including mine. Former Washington Husky Mario Bailey here. My mother was treated for cancer at UW Medicine. As devastating as cancer is, there is hope because the Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing vaccines to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Patients who received vaccines over 20 years ago are still alive today. Please join me and make a donation to the Cancer Vaccine Institute at local Safeway stores. Learn more at uwcvi.org.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Got neighbors? Big Trees can help. This is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. If you've been considering planting trees to add privacy, look no further than Big Trees. Privacy trees fill in empty spaces, help to define property lines, and add curb appeal. Learn more about Big Trees' big supply of privacy trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, big mess last night. Game 3, Blue Jays bats showed up. The Mariners' arms did not. Julio, really the one lone highlight as he crushed a home run early.
Julio in the postseason, 6 for 29 with 2 home runs and 5 runs batted in. As we mentioned, that big 3-run home run at Rogers Center that jump-started the Mariners' offense. Bieber looked back at Randy. The stretch and the pitch to Julio. Swing and a well-hit ball. Deep to left field. Going and goodbye baseball. He almost hit his face on the board, the out-of-town scoreboard in left center field. Julio Rodriguez.
He almost hit his own face, I say. I get it. It's like, wait, he almost hit his face? What? Well, yeah, he tattooed that thing. Unfortunately, it went south quick. Kirby hammered for 5 in the 3rd, another in the 4th, one more in the 5th, finally giving way to a bullpen that honestly was not much better. Brock, Mariners end up giving up 13 runs on the night. Here's what Kirby said.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely came out the way I wanted to. Yeah, I kind of just, I wasn't really executing when they got the guys on base, and they were really aggressive when that happened. So, you know, they made some good swings. I wasn't really making a lot of good pitches there in the 3rd and the 4th, but
Yeah. He's got a little Hasselback. He's a New Yorker, right?
He's a New Yorker.
Yeah, he got a little Northeast. Yeah. Yeah, and unfortunately, Bieber did, man. I honestly, after Julio hit it before on TV, Salk, before they could, like, even the smoke settled, Polanco was at a first pitch double because it barely came to life to show that double, and I thought, oh boy, man, they're going to put it on him. And, you know, Naylor's up next, and he's going to deliver, and this is going to be a crooked number, and we're going to get to their bullpen. And Alex Rodriguez was right, man. These first 3 innings, Alex, you were right. And then what does Bieber do? He strikes out 5, 6 of the next 7 guys, 5 of the next 6. Like, amazing, finds it, and then he goes. a long ways, and unfortunately, you don't go up 3-0. You go, you're still up 2-1.
Yeah, here's the good news. Game 4 tonight, Luis Castillo, extra day of rest against, what's left of Max Scherzer. He's 41 years old with an ERA over 5 in 17 starts with the Blue Jays this year. Got shelled a couple times in September, and this team has thrived in these moments.
Again, this is a team that has done this a lot this year in terms of bouncing back, being resilient. We've used a lot of words for it, but tomorrow's gonna be that opportunity again for us, and these guys know how to prepare and be ready for that. And I don't expect it's going to be an issue for them at all. This is a team that has proven over and over again that fighting back, bouncing back, having resiliency is a part of their DNA, and tomorrow's a chance to do that again.
Yeah, and they bounce back in any circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
When they've gotten blown out, when they've had the most heartbreaking loss, losing no hit. I mean, it just really doesn't matter. I'd like to say it's easier to bounce back after getting your doors blown off.
I think
but this
it is.
this team's bounced back in every situation, in every scenario, and I expect them to tonight.
Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, even in the Mariners' last ALCS, they had a huge blowout victory and then proceeded to lose the next couple of games. They're just generally not that predictive of what's going to happen next. NLCS Game 3 tonight. That series flips back to L.A. Dodgers up 2-0. Tyler Glass now for L.A., and it looks like Jose Quintana is going to be the bulk pitcher, whether he starts or not, for Milwaukee.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Seahawks get back to practice today, Brock. They took an extra day. Mike McDonald explains the schedule.
We've moved the schedule back. Basically, we're going to get, Monday Night Football, you get the extra day, so we're going to use the extra day here on the front end and then keep our normal weekly cadence starting on Thursday.
Yeah, so they'll get back to it tonight. Going to have to see what happens with some of these injured members of the secondary who can get back. I'll tell you, Nick Eamon-Warry seemed to really step up in their stead on Sunday, Brock. It's somebody I'm really looking forward to seeing more from here in the next couple of weeks as maybe his responsibilities grow, as you can start to trust him more. He's maybe the one big beneficiary of some of those injured guys.
I think that's fair, and I know J.J. Watt went on McAfee yesterday and blasted the grading of PFF, not the stats and not the next level numbers, but the actual grading of stuff. But Nick Eamon-Warry's grade is off the charts. I mean, it's one of the best of any rookie in the NFL. And I would say in this case, when you actually watch the game tape, even more than the TV copy, when you watch the game tape from above, Salk, you see his unbelievably, extraordinarily fast length. He's not just long. A lot of long guys are not twitched up guys, right? Even DK is as powerful as he is, and he's super twitchy, but he gets going. Like, Eamon-Warry's got this really unique trait of being that long, that twitchy, and that short area quick, and it is all adding up to a whole bunch of good playmaking.
A little surprised to see the Seahawks come in at number 13 in Ralph Vacchiano's rankings on Fox Sports. Behind the Niners, who are, the walking wounded, behind the Jags, who they beat, Steelers, who they beat, others. And then I remembered and looked that Ralph Vacchiano's a New Yorker, so he probably doesn't know who the Seahawks are. NFL.com's Eric Edholm has them all the way up at number 3, behind only the Bucs and Lions. So we'll see what it looks like as they go out there on Monday against Houston.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Kraken will be back to it tonight, Brock, in Ottawa. Will we see Joey DeCord for a 4th straight game, or maybe a first night for Grubauer or Murray? We'll see. Sens off to a tough start. They're 1-3. Gave up an 8th spot last night to Buffalo, so hopefully they will come in a little tired.
I know you've road tripped in your old Oldsmobile Cutlass cross country. You ever road tripped across Canada to these different locales?
No.
Ottawa?
No,
Winnipeg?
I've never. No.
You ever been up to Winnipeg?
No.
Anybody ever been up to Winnipeg?
No. Nobody. Nobody has. I've been to Vancouver. I've been to Montreal. I've been to Quebec.
Calgary?
No. And I've been to, Nova Scotia. Halifax. But no, I've never been to Ottawa, Toronto. No, never. Not spent any time in Ontario or in Winnipeg.
Is Winnipeg by the Dakotas? For some reason, doesn't it feel
it is.
Like Toronto, Montreal feel kind of like, I mean, they're not New York.
Well, Toronto's
Chicago,
near Detroit.
Correct.
It's like 3 hours from
across
Detroit.
Yes. Yeah.
And not that far from Buffalo. I mean, it's right across
Winnipeg
the water.
Might
from
as
Buffalo.
well be Sioux Falls North or Bismarck North.
I think that's about right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Montreal is only 3.5 hours from Boston. It's not that far.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
It totally does.
Okay.
Got that, Lyle?
Thursday night football tonight. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. A couple of 40-year-old quarterbacks, Brock.
Don't look now, but A-Rod's playing pretty well, man. He's playing pretty well. 4-1.
Let's not get carried away. That's everything you need to know. The last battle of 40-year-old quarterbacks was Tom Brady and Drew Brees. So it's Brady, Brees, Rodgers, and Flacco.
Interesting.
Just as you would assume.
How about before it? Was it Y.A. Tittle
Might be.
and
Yeah. Crazy Legs Hirsch? I don't know. I don't really know who that is. I just know the name, right? I think he's name dropped in the Wildcats football song. It's the only reason I've even heard of that person. All right. There is one word that you use over and over and over and over again to describe these Mariners. And guess what? We're going to do it again for like the millionth time next on Brock and Salk.
Hawks Live. Touchdown! Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square's center court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer with this week's guest, Seahawks safety Ty Okada.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Temperatures are dropping, but you don't have to settle for a chilly home this winter. Keep cozy and safe with energy-saving products during Washington Energy's home heating sale on now. Upgrading your home is as easy as $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 off. Take $1,000 off furnaces, fireplaces, and water heaters, $2,000 off high-efficiency heat pump systems, and $3,000 off whole home generators and ductless mini splits, plus free financing. Washington Energy Services, your expert resource for affordable home comfort. Call for a free estimate.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Hundreds of vehicles on the ground, 8 dealerships, 14 brands, all in one location. Visit West Hills Autoplex. We have more brands in one location than anywhere else in Washington State, import or domestic, new or pre-owned. We make finding your perfect vehicle easy, and that means a remarkable car buying experience for you. Skip the hassle with West Hills' streamlined buying experience and feel confident buying from your neighborhood family-owned dealerships. West Hills Autoplex, Auto Centerway exit, Highway 3, Bremerton.
Ryan Roland Smith here. For more than 35 years, the NBA Health Insurance Trust has been helping local builders, contractors, and their employees save money and gain peace of mind. They offer customized group health plans from the state's leading insurance providers. Small and mid-sized businesses deserve big healthcare access. The NBA Health Trust brings you the coverage you want at a price you can trust. Find out more at mbahealthtrust.com. That's mbahealthtrust.com.
This Breast Cancer Awareness Month, choose care that puts you first. At Snoqualmie Valley Health, you won't wait weeks for a mammogram. Appointments are available now, just 30 minutes east of Seattle. Experience the difference with advanced 3D mammography and our new Breast Health Suite, designed for accuracy, comfort, and peace of mind. If you're 40 and older, yearly screenings are recommended, and no referral is needed if you haven't had a mammogram in the past year. Don't wait. Detect early. Schedule today at SnoqualmieValleyHealth.org.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Salk, how have you never been to Toronto? You need to go for the Hockey Hall of Fame alone, 360. I know, you're right. I don't know why I've never been. I would like to go. It's a city on my list. I just, for whatever reason, never made it there. My parents really want me to go to Calgary. They love the Stampede and think Calgary's cool. And you can go to Banff and Lake Louise and stuff from there. But no, I don't know. I just have not made it to the interior of Canada.
Isn't Toronto what I did a game in Buffalo. Can't you see right across Niagara Falls, right? You see their little Space Needle looking thing?
Very close. Yeah.
Very close.
Yeah.
Very close.
And not that far from Detroit either. I mean,
No?
it's like a 3-hour drive, something like that.
You get sports and you get geography. You get it every day.
Every morning, every day. Yep. It's quite a show we've built here. Getting blown out stinks, all right? Like, we all know that. I don't think I'm breaking news. It stinks to get blown out. It especially stinks when it's at home in front of your fans. It's worse, obviously, when it's the postseason and the price of those tickets for every one of those fans has skyrocketed. It is a huge bummer. I was thinking about everybody last night as, look, I'm very mindful of the fact that we have an incredible job where we get to attend games like this without having to pay for it. It's not the same. We're not getting drunk out in the bleachers. We're, sitting in a somewhat sterile press box for the most part, but it's an incredible, unbelievable benefit of the job that we have. I don't take it for granted. And I was sitting there last night thinking, man, there are a lot of people here that paid a lot of money to be at this ALCS, and unfortunately, they chose the wrong game. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
5 days earlier for that Friday night affair.
Yep.
It is worth every dollar and every cent, and basically 2 games in one where you're holding on to your buttocks for all 5 hours of it. And last night, after really that third inning into the fourth, it was like, oh no. No. Stop this momentum. Stop this ship. Stop this. Turn it around. Come on, go hit the ball out of the yard. Hey, go do the things that you did in Toronto. Hey, go do what you did Friday night to find a way. And you know what? That's the beauty of baseball, man. The blessing and the curse of it. When it's good, it's as good as anything. When it's bad and it's tough and you get your doors blown off,
it was ugly.
You leave the park and it's pretty ugly.
And ugly early. And I thought it was impressive how many people stuck around and continued to watch. And look, you pay $300 or whatever it is for a seat. You may want to get all 9 innings out of it. I don't blame you. Hey, stick around. And people were cheering when Cal hit his home run and cheering when Randy hit his home run. And, it was over. I don't think there was any real hope even then of getting back into the game. But I get it. Like, I thought that was awesome and a real nice tribute of what these fans believe about this Mariner team. The good news is, and that's just a moment or two of the bad, I don't think there's any evidence at all that what happened last night is in any way predictive of what will happen tonight, tomorrow, and if there are games after that moving forward. There's just no evidence. And we've seen the Mariners get spanked before and turn right back around and win the next day. And we've seen them clobber teams before and not able to carry that momentum through to the next day. We talk back about some of these other series, whether it's looking at the Mariners in 2001. I think they won 13-2, 13-3, something like that in that series against Cleveland and lost the next couple of games. And, unfortunately, that was kind of it. You can look at, or I guess that was against the Yankees, excuse me. You could also look at, look in my own personal history, Maura and I will tell you that the Red Sox loss in Game 3 of the ALCS in 2004 was an absolute drubbing, just a complete butt whooping that made everybody think everything was over.
I turned into Lyle and said, I don't want them to win Game 4 because they're just going to get me invested again and break my heart.
That game was bad. I mean, that was just an atrocity. And then they went out, obviously, and made history and won the next 4. So there's no evidence at all to suggest that it was going to affect them at all moving forward. And I guess you could make the argument that the one piece of good news is they gave everyone that matters in their bullpen another day of rest. So at this point, Spire hasn't pitched in 3 days, right? Brash hasn't pitched in 3 days. Munoz hasn't pitched in 3 days. He did get up and kind of warm up a little, but not hot. So those 3 guys all haven't pitched in 3 days, and it'll be 2 for Bizzardo, who is as resilient as anybody.
Yep. Got them all.
That's pretty good.
Got them all.
You also,
Luis on an extra day of rest. Got them all.
Yep.
You got all your horses ready to go.
Everything is lined up, and all of your artillery is fully ready for tonight.
Yep. So it was last night, just to put one last little nugget here, and I think this is honestly a little more of the coaching this season and just reinforcing what I've already known a little bit. Was last night more about Seattle or more about Toronto?
Good question.
Because to me, it was a lot more about Toronto. It was a lot more about Toronto's backs were square against the wall. Toronto was at home and got embarrassed. Toronto flew across the continent. Vlad Guerrero Jr., who's one of the best players in the game, was like, none of my watch. I'm not going to be an ofer. I'm not going to be a non-contributor. Bieber, after a rough first 4 batters, responded in a big way for the next 5.5+ innings. Like, to me, yesterday felt a little more Toronto rising to the occasion, and Seattle, after the early home run, being pretty flat the rest of the way.
Or was it George just didn't have it?
I mean, you could say that, but George had it for 2 innings.
And then it
George
went
even
away.
Came out in the 4th and went strikeout, embarrassed him, and then gave Springer hits a home run and, gets out. Like, I didn't see George sitting 92. I didn't see George. Like,
but he's not going to sit 92. I mean, that would be
I saw
George's hurt.
I saw George painting it the first couple innings. And then even bouncing back to the first.
And then he stopped painting it and started leaving it over the middle of the plate. I mean, he even said as much after the game, like, I just stopped executing.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely came out the way I wanted to. I kind of just, I wasn't really executing when they got the guys on base, and
maybe there was something in the stretch. I don't know what the heck the problem was. Look,
but they took advantage. I mean, they
did.
It's
so hard, though, to determine in baseball which is which, right? It's not like the Mariners didn't run themselves into a bunch of outs. They didn't do a bunch of dumb stuff where afterwards you're like, well, they just gave that game away. They should have won. They didn't pitch particularly well. They stopped hitting particularly well. And in the meantime, the Blue Jays, absolutely unleashed a barrage. I'm not going to back off my thoughts of kind of what I think of these two teams. I think the Mariners are a superior team. The Blue Jays are better than the Tigers. They're better than the Red Sox, better than the Guardians, better than the Astros, better than the Rangers, better than obviously the Yankees since they beat them. I mean, they're better than some of these vanquished foes. but I still don't think they're nearly as good as either of the two teams playing right now in the NLCS. I don't think they're nearly as complete as the Brewers, who I actually think might be the most complete team, even though they're not showing it right now. They're not nearly as talented as the Dodgers are, who are probably the most talented team and just have this one giant hole in their bullpen, but other than that, are as good a team as you could assemble.
Yep.
And I think the Mariners are a more talented team up and down their lineup. I really do, and up and down their roster, I should say, because the pitching is really where they should have the edge. But if George comes out and doesn't pitch well, it doesn't really matter what your edge is, everywhere else. If your starting pitcher gets shelled and then you're into the back of your bullpen instead of the top of it, it doesn't really matter what sort of edges you have. You're playing with fire.
Smoltz set this up before the very first game. It will be now. Toronto hit the ball out of the yard. They didn't just hit the ball yesterday with Condé. They hit it actually out of the yard, played your kind of power game with 4 home runs. But, they set this up early. Like, you're facing a bat-to-ball contact team, that doesn't have near the power overall that Seattle does versus a Seattle team that really is a pitching and power team.
Yep.
And how will that play out? It was not going to be a 4-0 sweep. I just never look at the numbers and the way I never felt.
I thought it might be.
Did you really?
I thought it might be. I was at least considering the possibility when they were up 2-0 yesterday. Yeah. And then Polanco rockets a double. You're like, I don't know, man. This might, and then of course baseball. It's just such an. I can't believe they ask Jeter and A-Rod and Ortiz to predict these games every day. Like, what a ridiculous exercise in futility. If I were one of them, I'd just throw up my hands and be like, "Yeah, no, I got no." And basically, that's what they're doing. I mean, they're all basically saying, like, I have no idea what's going to happen. But here's what I'll say: tonight, you get Luis Castillo, who's pitched very well in the postseason. And at home. Especially well at home, and should be a good fit for the contact style of the Blue Jays. We'll see what happens.
Because of the movement?
Because of the sinker. Mm-hmm. Because he's going to generate a lot of contact that hopefully gets hit into the ground for outs. Mm-hmm. Because Luis does a good job, and you've seen it even in game 2 of the Detroit series, where he didn't look great early, hit through a ton of pitches, and then was like, I need to minimize pitching? Okay, fine. I'll just throw sinkers and get them out. Like, he's really good at that, and that should be a good fit for this Toronto lineup. We'll find out. On the other side, Max Scherzer is 41, has really pitched poorly since coming over to Toronto from Texas. Doesn't mean he's going to pitch poorly tonight, but you got to try to get to somebody with an ERA over 5. The last thing I'll say here, Brock, is that the one thing you can say about the Mariners, they stay pretty loose, even when everyone else around them is maybe getting tight. And I thought you, in particular, along with me, would appreciate this. So this is Ryan Dempster, Kevin Millar, and Sierra Santos, who were on MLB Network, having a conversation with our buddy, Randy Arozarena, who I think is hilarious. And they were asking him, well, I'll let them take over. Here they are. And she's translating for Randy.
I always got jealous of guys who had like grande brazo, the big arms. I didn't have big arms. So a guy on the team, I wanted those biceps, or maybe like the guy with the 6-pack. On your team, if you could pick a body part, would you pick Julio's eyes or Cal's rear end? Would you pick Cal's ass? Which one?
Whoa.
Okay.
The big dumper or the beautiful eyes?
¿Entendiste?
No, repítemelo. Dímelo en español.
¿Cuál preferías? ¿Los ojos lindos de Julio Rodríguez o la nalga grande de Cal Raleigh?
Los ojos de Julio.
Julio's eyes.
Yep. Good answer. Good answer. Sure.
Everyone agrees. Julio's eyes, the big, beautiful green eyes. Can you imagine if Randy had Julio's eyes? I think it would be like he'd be unstoppable. And Randy's a good-looking dude to begin with. If you put Julio's eyes on Randy, I don't even know, he'd be unstoppable.
Because Randy's got a good little power source himself.
Exactly.
Right? And he doesn't want that thing, that dump truck.
No.
I'm good.
No.
I'm good. Can I hear cut number 7, too? Can I hear Julio?
Just quickly, I did find myself thinking, Brock, because obviously Teoscar's been in the news a lot also. Can you imagine a Julio, Teo, Randy outfield?
No, I could not.
It would have had some real problems in terms of Julio would have had to catch every single ball that was hit everywhere. But between just Randy's mystique, Julio's eyes, and Teo's wonderful scent, Think about what an outfield that would have been. It's too bad the three of them never got to play together. Man, that's just too bad. All right, what do you want to hear, Julio?
I want to hear Julio.
All right, I played this earlier. Let me play. This is Julio also talking about the resilience of the team.
I mean, like you said, like it's just one game. Like, I mean, they're here for a reason too. I think they're a really good team, and they came out, swinging today, and they were able to definitely get the dub. But it's one game, and like just kind of how like we know they know that we got to line up tomorrow and play a baseball game again.
Sometimes, and this goes into the way, way, way back machine of the early years of Brock and Salk, where maybe the Buff Dude report originated. Where I came out of that clubhouse in spring training and I turned to Salky and I'm like, where are the Buff Dudes at? Like, these look like a bunch of guys that could be at the mall in Scottsdale.
Right.
Like, you wouldn't know that they are professional athletes. But I will say this, where these baseball players are very different than, well, especially me and Lyle. That woman up in Toronto whose sound we played yesterday, many of the thousands that streamed out of the building last night, they truly flush that. It truly does not impact them the next day. You don't see it with your eyes. It's not like a physique. It's not any of that stuff. No, man, they got the mental fortitude. They're here because of it. They're able to do this every day because of this, because they truly can. And this team is, man, it's been arguably their greatest strength over the course of their season, to be able to flush days and nights like last night and press on to what comes tonight.
Sam in Spokane weighing in, Brock. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine Randy with Cal's butt but not his legs? That would just be amazing. Yeah, maybe it would be. Let's do some Blue 88.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88, powered by Xfinity.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Heward tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
No,
by the way,
Sam was wondering.
We saw that. Was that Sam in Spokane?
Yeah, he's wondering whether or not it was JP that shoved the jersey down the back of his pants in spring training. No, it was who was
that little guy? Segura.
It was D. Gordon
impersonating
Gene Segura.
But Sam in Spokane, we did see that human being with what you were talking about anatomically.
Oh, jeez.
She just happened to be a female reporter. Remember that?
She was there covering what's his name? Fernando Rodney.
Oh my gosh, it was
quite an experience. All right, question number 1 for you, Brock. Joel Klatt joined us yesterday. Talked a lot about JSN's football IQ. How has that shown up really throughout this season in the Kubiak scheme?
Yeah, I loved this sound from Joel yesterday, because this scheme plays right to his savvy and allows him to play at that plus speed and do all the things he's doing down the field. Here's Joel yesterday.
He might not be the fastest guy. However, he is the smartest in a lot of ways, and he understands how to gain separation. And part of that separation means that he understands how to play with pace and tempo and patience at times, which then makes his 21 miles an hour feel like 23, because he's playing at a certain pace and separation throughout the game. And then all of a sudden you're a DB and you're like, whoa, like what was that? I haven't seen it, so his technical ability, and I would say instincts and savvy as a route runner, make him a lot more difficult to cover than a guy that's just like, well, he runs 23 miles an hour.
Tyler Lockett was very similar in the early years before some of the catastrophic injuries and father time and age. Tyler was the same way. It's setting up routes, Salk, and getting into, we call it get on their toes, nose to nose, thin to win. And he does that as good as anybody. Get on their toes, get nose to nose, and then stay thin. That's on a deep post route. But over and over again, you will see Jackson just break down the leverage. He has such a command of that. When you were playing hoops, and you fancied yourself a good defender, right?
Decent.
I mean, that was your thing, other than Gadzuric when he would dunk on you because he was 6'10".
More of a rebounder, but okay.
Yep. What do you always teach young basketball players when they're in their defensive stance and slide? What are you looking at on your opponent?
Look at their chest.
Yep. And you're just trying to, their hips and their chest, you're just trying to stay in the middle of them. I don't know how you do that with Jackson. These NFL guys don't know how to do it. The college guys didn't know how to do it. His body control and balance is so unbelievably good. And then because of all that stuff Joel mentioned, he plays faster than whatever his 40 time was in shorts, man. He's one of the top 3 receivers in the game right now. I mean, that's not hyperbolic. By the numbers, by the tape, by everything. He's one of the top 3 guys going in the game. And, man, is it fun to watch.
All right, question number 2. Well, everybody's worried about whether or not Pro Football Focus is doing anything. J.J. Watt, we talked to Mike McDonald about it. He wasn't too impressed with their grades. But anybody worthy of, I don't know, the grades they're getting from PFF?
Yeah, we hit on this, and you hit on it in Need to Know. Nicky Manwari.
Yeah.
To have a grade over 80 as a rookie, to have missed some time during the season, to have come back from a high ankle sprain, right, in the first couple snaps of this season, he is long. And I saw some national folks saying, Kyle Hamilton, look out. And, Kyle Hamilton doesn't have 4.3 and 45-inch vert. Like, he doesn't have that kind of explosion that this guy has. Now, Kyle Hamilton has football IQ and acumen and everything JSN is as receiver. This dude is really adept defensively with his mind. But if Manwari keeps growing, Salk, that grade is being one of the highest graded Seahawks defenders on this defense. Like, that would be saying so. You're talking about, you've mentioned Hendrickson. Can I go from great to elite?
Mm-hmm.
Can I just keep adding reinforcements? Holy smokes. You add Manwari to Love and to Bryant, you go from great to pretty darn elite. And his length and explosiveness is playing itself out on the field. It's awesome.
Very cool. All right, question number 3. UW, Michigan, Damon Williams. Brock, as you get ready for this one, what does it remind you of?
It reminds me of Michael Penix going to Oregon in a game that Benetti and I called. Michael Penix that year, they started out with a bunch of wins. I want to say they were 4-5-1 as well. And they ended up getting to 10 wins that year. But, they went down there. I think they were 5-2. The Huskies 5-1. It's playing on a big stage. It's playing in a packed house. It's playing against a talented team. In this case, it was Bo Nix on the other side for Penix, and they would ultimately match up 3 times, and Penix would ultimately win all 3 of those matchups. But this was the first of them. And he went down there, and what did he do? And he made a throw in the 4th quarter that left me aghast up in the press box.
Was that one to the sideline that you couldn't stop talking about? That was pretty crazy.
That was pretty wild.
Yeah.
Can Damon Williams do the same thing in the big house? Can he make a throw to Denzel Boston where you're not supposed to be able to do that at 5'9" and 190 pounds? Will he outrun a defense at Michigan in their place that's got a lot of speed? And will he outrun him, shake a tackle, take it 40 yards to the house, and make a play that's just, whoa, not supposed to be able to do that? Michigan's good, just like Oregon was that year. They're not elite. They've already lost a couple times. You're facing a freshman quarterback on the other side that they've been very conservative with, and they will try to run, and run, just as Oregon did on that day. But ultimately, Penix made a play with his arm that was truly unique. Damon's going to have to do the same Saturday.
All right, there you go. That is today's version of Blue 88. Not a ton of football conversation today or this week, especially with the Seahawks not playing until Monday night and everything going on with the ALCS, but good to make sure we check into a little bit of football every day at 7:45.
We should try to talk to him tomorrow.
Who?
Because it's harder on game day, although I think he did it the morning of the last Monday night game. Joe Buck going to be on this one with the doubleheader. It just
think so.
Frustrating. Yeah, I know you love yourself some Joe Buck.
I do.
Yeah.
Kind of miss him right now. Not going to lie. I really miss him in the baseball postseason. I really like Joe Buck calling baseball games. Yeah, I mean, obviously I would love to talk to Joe Buck. That's sort of an anytime it's possible. We're going to talk to one of my absolute favorites today at 8:30, though. You know how much I love Kevin Burkhart. He is one of my favorite people that we get to talk to. I think he does a tremendous job on the call when he's doing football, and he does a great job in studio, which he's doing right now for Fox for baseball. I just think he's a really bright, interesting, opinionated, smart dude. So we'll talk to him at 8:30 this morning, which will be great. Thank you, Brock, for setting that one up. That's one of my favorites. Let's do this. We've got a little, here's the thing.
Some of my favorites.
I know.
Those are your favorites. My favorites are Zane and, Brent and all the folks that contribute.
I mean, as usual, Brock, you just love the people. Any opportunity to suck up to them, you're going to take it. And we'll hear what sort of things they have for us next on Brock and Salk.
The one and only Mark Schlereth. Every Monday at 4 during the NFL season with Wyman and Bob.
Are you following the playoffs?
Listen, man, I grew up in Anchorage, Alaska. Alaska adopted the Seahawks, and Alaska adopted the Mariners. So, yeah, of course I will adopt the Mariners. They're a great story. They're fun.
Good to have you on our side.
Certainly am not going to root for a Canadian team. Give me a break.
On Seattle Sports, on YouTube, and the Seattle Sports app.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
812's Steve Rabel here for Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. For men 40 and older, a simple PSA blood test can help intercept prostate cancer early. You can get the simple test before the Crucial Catch game, October 20th at Ticketmaster Tailgate.
At Bible Law Group, we understand when you've got legal problems so biblical, not even an Etsy witch can turn your court case around. With James Bible and his team by your side, don't panic when your ark is lost in divorce or when a whale swallows your defense attorney. At Bible Law Group, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. When your legal problems hit biblical proportions, contact Bible Law Group and let our talented team of lawyers get to work, no matter the problem. Find us at BibleLawGroup.com.
Open enrollment for Medicare happens every year, but for a lot of people, it's still confusing. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Don't worry, help is on the way with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit brought to you by the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Find out what's changing and learn about your options for Medicare with 7 easy steps to get ready for open enrollment. Order your free copy of the Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit at insurance.wa.gov or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center.
John here with Happy Hauler. We want to help get your unwanted items to those in need. Furniture and household items you plan on throwing away? We'll take them and prioritize donating and recycling, keeping items out of the landfill, and giving useful items a second happy home. Happy Hauler is Seattle's eco-friendly junk removal. We work with over 20 nonprofits all over Western Washington to donate used items. Make yourself, your community, and the planet happy. Reclaim your space. HappyHauler.com, hauling with a heart.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Lowe's knows pros want more. Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free to get $20 off your first qualifying purchase of $100 or more just for signing up. Plus, enjoy free standard shipping and more ways to save on your next job. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid for new members only. Not valid with any other discount. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/pro-loyalty for details. Subject to change.
The playoffs are here, and Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are bringing the heat with a rotation that's built to win.
the Gas RAV4, built for every inning of Northwest life. Or go versatile with the hybrid RAV4. The Tacoma, tough, dependable, and always clutch. And now, stepping up, the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra. Redesigned, powerful, and built for big moments. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. Visit ToyotaKirkland.com and ToyotaRenton.com and get your championship ride.
Seaport Airlines. If airport slowdowns and delays have you rethinking your trip, well, there's an easier way to fly. Seaport Airlines flies TSA free with service between Portland Business Aviation and Seattle's Boeing Field. No delays, no stress. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
Baseball's postseason is here. Seattle Sports Playoff coverage is presented by Honey Bucket, 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
Get in the freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read internet, guys.
Take the ball by the hands.
And Burkhart, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, rolling along here. Rolling along. Brock and Salk Show, Seattle Sports 710, seattlesports.com. As I say, Kevin Burkhart in 30 minutes, Brock. Looking forward to that. And then, hey, are we doing trash takes at 9 o'clock? I think we're going to try.
So.
No?
I don't think so.
You don't want to do that?
No.
God, I thought we were going to do trash takes at 9.
Because I think this is going to, for all the new audience.
Okay.
You probably got to give a little.
But I thought the new audience might want to see the Trashmaster hat and everything else that comes out for trash takes.
But even for this, inform the audience of what's about to happen right now.
So we have the Seattle Sports app, which you can download wherever you get those sorts of things. And on it, you can leave little voice messages for us. And people have been doing so. This was Maura's idea. We call it Here's the Thing, because for the most part, these start off by saying, all right, here's the thing. And then you leave whatever message you want to leave. And generally, it's become, an opportunity to make fun of the four of us. And then some other weird songs and bits thrown in with the occasional, actual real comment that somebody wants to make about something happening either in sports or whatever. So we call it Here's the Thing.
Brock Heward doesn't just hate one kid.
I am so disappointed in Michael Salk.
You don't know what you're talking about. You're mindless. Love you, bye.
It's time for Brock and Salk's Here's the Thing.
Okay, here's the thing.
All right, we'll jump right into this with a whole bunch of reaction during and after the 15-inning Game 5. This was from Christian.
About freaking time. I'm sitting here in Norway. It's 7:09 a.m. waiting for this game to end. 15th inning. I feel like the game was longer than the 24-year wait. Anyways, good morning, I guess.
Thanks, Christian. I like that.
You know what's sad is, where did Brad go?
Thankfully,
he
Brad's
still
not
leaves
around.
messages. I just haven't put one in a while.
Are they too creepy?
Honestly, no. They've just been he was just really psyched. There were some curse words. Psyched about the Mariners.
Come on, Brad, get it together. Here's James.
Okay, here's the thing. I am fed up, staying up till 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 5 a.m. Irish time to watch these suddenly primetime Mariner games. I know you all, and for good reason. You're right, they should be on this late. So I have just decided to buy World Series Game 1 tickets, book a flight, and just enjoy it on Seattle time because I'm too tired. Too tired. Let's go. This is how confident I am.
Wow.
Come on. Finish this out.
That's our buddy in Ireland, James.
Norway and Ireland weighing in, huh?
Yeah. Tough to watch the games that far east.
Oh.
It's a challenge. How about Rachel? How'd she do during the game?
Here's the thing. I went 13 innings before I threw up from this freaking game.
Jeez.
But I got up, I rallied, and I saw the Mariners win. Blue Jays, you're trash. You're trash.
Wow, boot and rally, Brock.
She's Chicago. Is Rachel Chicago?
I don't know where Rachel's from.
I think she's Chicago.
No.
No?
You're thinking of, there's somebody else who calls from
Someone
Chicago.
else from Chicago.
Yeah. Shauna's Chicago. Nah, I don't know where Rachel's from.
Oh, this is good.
Boot and rally.
Let me hear Adam.
You want to hear Adam?
Here's the thing.
In my incessant bombardment of Mariners coverage online, I finally saw a clip of the Marine Lair, and I saw what Lyle looks like. And I always pictured him as looking sort of like Sal Vulcano from Impractical Jokers. But he kind of looks like Joe Girardi's kid.
Oh, that's true. I can see that. You have a little Joe Girardi to you.
You know, Joe Girardi's daughter, Lena,
Yeah.
is a cowpoke.
Maybe we could get Joe and Lyle together.
Maybe we can
Long
introduce
lost
Lyle to Lena.
family members.
Lyle's back here looking up pictures. What do you think?
Maybe a little bit.
A little bit.
Oh, are you looking at his actual son?
Yeah.
To see if he looked like
Oh
him?
no! Look at Joe Girardi.
Well, he said Girardi's kid.
But he's saying you look like you could be.
Oh, gosh.
My
Just
God,
next-
man. What is
next
going on with
one.
you? Could you
Next
get
one.
some sleep, please? Here's Joe in Boise.
This is Joe in Boise. Here's the thing. Recent conversations on the show about football reminded me of a commercial that's running on TV right now by Brock's former employer. If Salk knew football the way Brock Heward knows football, he would in no way be able to handle it. Brock Heward knowledge is 10 pounds of football in a 5-pound bag of Salk. Release the penguin from a bird cage, it still won't fly. Salk, you're a football penguin.
I don't think I understand any of that.
I didn't understand it either, but it was funny because it was so weird.
It's a Tom Brady commercial where the guy's lying
I've
in
seen
bed.
that.
Yeah.
Brady's like, oh, these free? That's funny. I like when Brady asks if they're free. Hey, if it's free, it's for me. See ya. How about Andy?
Okay, I got a nickname. Trying it out on you. This is Andy in Tacoma. Signor Polangtobre. I don't know, does that have a ring to it? Signor Polangtobre?
Not really.
That's what I'm thinking is a good one here. I do like playoff Polanco. That's pretty good. But Signor Polangtobre? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see that catching
You know,
on.
he just wasn't saying it like he was confident. In
No.
He kept saying it kind of like with a question mark.
Uh-huh. If Dave Sims were still here, Dave might try to make that work for you. But I don't see that as
What did Gary do on a call the other day? Was it Cal's home run? Cal?
Oh, yeah.
Cal.
I forget what he said.
Yeah.
I'll have to come back and remember. All right, this was the big story the first couple days of the week, Brock, was figuring out what would happen with Humpy last night.
And what happened?
Humpy won.
And it shouldn't. And what happened in the game?
Well, the
Never
timing
again.
wasn't great. That's
Never
for
again.
sure.
Never again.
Yeah, I don't know what happens next.
Never
Here's Derek.
again.
Okay, here's the thing. I think what you do with Humpy is you have him win every race moving forward by increasingly larger margins. And Humpy becomes the personification of the Mariners coming into form as a juggernaut that goes and wins the World Series. And then, once we win the World Series, you retire Humpy, and I'm pretty serious about this. I think you build a statue out in front of the stadium. And that's just like what this is.
I don't know if we need a Humpy statue. There's already enough statues.
Well, we know your stance on statues.
Don't mess with science, dudes. There's a reason a Humpy is a Humpy. Like in the King Salmon's the King Salmon, and he was 0 for 85. Like, don't do that.
I still think they should have retired Humpy. There was no good other answer to it. He couldn't win. He couldn't lose. I don't know what else you could have possibly done. I think I would have retired
Could have made
Humpy.
a cool video of him flopping around in Puget Sound, like with his finger up in the air, like I won one, and then just go to sea.
I will say, Brock, I'm a little concerned for the Moose. For all of the attention that Humpy has gathered recently, to the point where like all the Humpy gear is sold out.
Fine. Moose is fine.
Did you see the CEO of Microsoft was making a whole video with Humpy? Like everyone is into Humpy, and the poor Moose is like, "Hey, I've been here for years, and now you're all into this Humpy dude."
Yep. Moose will be fine.
I don't know. Doesn't seem fine.
Flash in the pan.
Here's Eric.
Hey guys, here's the thing. I'm a lifelong Seahawks fan in Nebraska. So the only way I have to follow the Seahawks for the most part is the Brock and Salk show. And I've been listening to you guys for at least 4 or 5 years now religiously every day. And 100% because of you guys in the last couple of years, I've became now a lifelong Mariners fan. And I apologize that I'm not going to be as funny as the others messengers on Here's the Thing. But this is the only way I get to talk to you guys because I can't ever call in. So I just want to say thank you.
Oh, wow.
I am all in. this is why you guys say pitching wins championships. I've been saying it for 2 years, and I'm so stoked rooting for Nebraska. Thank you for all you do.
Go Big
Go
Red.
Mariners.
Wow, that's more. I'm surprised you put that one in there.
Go Big Red.
Why?
I don't know. It was very nice. You don't allow such nice compliments here on the show.
True or false? For Titus' 16th birthday coming up, I'm renting an RV.
False.
With him and his buddies and driving to the Nebraska USC football game.
Oh, wow.
True or false?
False.
That's true.
Oh,
okay.
interesting.
Here we go.
You're Shannon.
Crazy. I was just watching the YouTube version of Brock and Salk and see Jeff Passan for the first time, and I'm freaking out because he is not who I thought he was. I thought he was much older. And then Salk, you actually say people are texting in that he looks much older, so I'm not the only one, and that cracked me up. I had to just share.
Now, I will say, one of the strangest things that's happened is that I would have guessed Jeff Passan is much more famous than us. How do you not know how do you only know Jeff from the show?
I don't think a lot of people watch a lot of baseball studio shows.
I guess.
Yeah.
But he's done a lot of baseball games. He's on
Remember,
Twitter.
baseball's a lot more local, regional than it is national.
I guess. I think of Jeff as being a much bigger deal than either of us. Here's Wydell.
Here's the thing. Mariners, yep, we had a rough night last night. Here's what we need to do to that game. Just flush it, boys. Flush it. Let's go. Go Mariners.
Thanks, Wydell.
Let's get game 4.
Appreciate that. So glad that made it onto our air this morning. And we'll finish off with your buddy Zane, who crashed your wedding.
Here's the thing. It's been a catastrophic week down here for Mariners fans at the Happy Endings LLC retirement oasis of Arizona with this amazing and equally terrible playoff run. Last Friday's game alone killed one. It put 7 others in the infirmary. You want to talk about a Larry Salk rule when you go to bed with a lead? We'll try the Happy Endings rule for extra innings, where you just simply die before the game is even over. Rest in peace, Carl. Anyhow, there are things worse than dying. My buddy Steve got so excited in extra innings, he shamed his trousers. Still had enough time to go back to his apartment, shower, dress, and come back and besmirch his pantaloons yet again when we won. We call that a twofer. His wife won't let him watch anymore. So this is what I'm getting at, Mariners. The last 2 games have been amazing, lopsided in our favor, over early. So early I've been able to catch the late dinner at the cafeteria and grab some free packets of butter and creamer, because that's what old people do, we steal. And I'd like to steal some sleep after a convincing win tonight. Good day to you all.
All right, well, let's hope all that happens for poor Zane. If you want to leave us a message, download the Seattle Sports app and go from there. We'll be right back with everything you need to know. Kevin Burkhart in 20. I'm Brock and Salk.
Well, the Blue Jays finally showed up here in the ALCS.
Deep to right field, that ain't coming back. And the Blue Jays now lead it 13-4.
On to Game 4 tonight at T-Mobile, where the Mariners look to bounce back.
This is a team that has done this a lot this year in terms of bouncing back.
And pull within 1 win of the World Series. First pitch at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just 1 day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed 1-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at prosculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's prosculpt.com.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Dave Wyman here, and after 20 years of living in our home, our window seals started breaking. That's when I called Harley Exteriors. They're huge fans of our teams and regular listeners at the station, but what really sold me was their Olympic Series windows, built right here in Washington, designed for Pacific Northwest homes and climate. That means cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter. They're beautiful windows that last up to 60 years, and they'll help with noise, too. Harley Exteriors knows you've been spending a ton on playoff tickets, so they have a special deal for Seattle sports listeners. No interest and no payments for an entire year. Also, buy one window and get the second one 40% off, and take another $200 off your entire project. They're the friendliest team and so easy to work with. You call the number, and the person on the other line asks, "How can I make you smile today?" Just give them a ring and tell them you heard our ad. Call 833-HARLEY. That's 833-HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com.
Headed outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nellie on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on seattlesports.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends at PCF Construction. It was a couple years ago. We were seeking a complete outdoor living space. Molly wanted a new deck. She wanted to really make our outdoor space pop. And boy, am I glad we called PCF. Why? Because whether it's a very specific project or outdoor living, like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you completely covered. You know, Molly's an interior designer. She knows construction. She knows attention to detail. And PCF, they checked every single box along the way. And right now is the time to make the call. Up to $6,000 off your project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. And you can save an extra $1,500 when you bundle your deck with a patio cover. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com, or simply call today at 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, PCFgroup.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafy, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. Just like our favorite baseball team, Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington is stepping up to the plate. Mention Go Seattle when you book, and you'll knock it out of the park with 15% off and 12 months, no payments, and no interest. Schedule today before this deal is gone.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Didn't go the way anybody wanted it to last night at all. Started off great, and Julio hit the home run, and then by the third inning, Brock, it had completely turned, as unfortunately George Kirby just didn't have it, and everybody was taking advantage.
Here comes the pitch to Vlad. Vlad swings, hits an absolute rocket to center field. Julio sizing it up, and this ball is beyond the wall and gone.
Is that like a... went north of the wall there, I think. A little Game of Thrones reference. Yeah, he just got torched, bro. He just didn't have it. It was just one after another after another. Did you think Vlad might try for the triple to get the cycle late in the game? He had a chance. Hit a ball to the right center field gap. He had a single, a double, and a home run already. But he shut it down. His teammates were all laughing at him. He didn't try for three. I don't know if he could have made it. Probably would have been thrown out, but might have been worth it. They were up by
Know thyself.
9
You also
runs.
maybe knew that maybe the hammy would pull us.
Oh, maybe. I didn't even consider that.
Show off a little bit, and boom, there goes the hammy.
Yeah, it didn't go well. George Kirby, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, again, the first couple innings, I thought he was dynamite and really came out at good location and good heaters coming out of his hand and was able to, keep him in check. And then, this is a team that's going to hurt you if you make mistakes on the plate. It looked like there were a couple that they were able to get to, and really that's where it was at that point. Our guys, we get ahead. That's what we do, and they'll continue to do that. But you still have to make good quality pitches, and there were some that caught a little bit of plate. But I thought again, the way he looked early on, I thought we were in good shape.
I did too, and it was the bottom of the lineup that did the damage. It was 8-9 there in the third inning. They got the whole train going, and that's the difference with this club, and that's why they were the number 1 seed and in the position they were in. This is the most lengthened lineup, maybe save for the Yankees, that you could have seen in the American League. Right? This is a group that's built a little bit like you. Detroit, you got to the bottom of the lineup, done. Houston, with all their injuries, bottom of the lineup, you were done. Right? Cleveland, 2/3 of the lineup, you were done. Not this lineup. You're going to have to make quality pitches, and Luis is going to have to do so tonight.
Yeah, 100%. Game 4, 5:30 tonight. It is Luis Castillo with an extra day of rest. He'll go against Max Scherzer, or what's left of him, 41-year-old with an ERA over 5 and 17 starts with the Blue Jays this year, including a couple of brutal ones in September. But get to him quick. Do the damage and get to that bullpen. Chris Bassett likely to piggyback him as another starter. NLCS Game 3 tonight. That series is back to L.A. Dodgers up 2-0. They'll throw Tyler Glass now, and the Brewers will counter with Quintana, but as more of a bulk guy. I don't know if he'll start or maybe they'll have an opener, but Quintana expected to take the bulk of the innings.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Extra day off for the Seahawks yesterday, but they get back to practice later this afternoon.
We're going to move the schedule back. Basically, we're going to get, in Monday Night Football, you get the extra day, so we're going to use the extra day here on the front end and then keep our normal weekly cadence starting on Thursday.
A lot of injuries to look for today. Essentially, the entirety of that secondary, who's going to be out there. Mike's always a little tight-lipped about that, but when we asked him about it on Monday, he wanted no part of talking about any of the injuries at all.
No, because I think he knew the way they were going to handle this week. And then what further complicates it is you've got a bye that follows. So Reek probably will go. He was limited last week with a concussion. That's a different animal than it is with Jordan Love's hamstring and Devin Witherspoon's knee. Do you want to give these guys, in essence, three plus weeks with them being out last week and then this Monday night and then a full week with the bye? You have a chance to really maybe get those guys to 100, or are they close enough and not at risk of a setback if they play this week? So keep an eye on those two in particular. That injury report after practice today with Julian and Spoon.
Pretty surprised to see the Seahawks at number 13, Brock, in Ralph Vacchiano's rankings.
Look at those things. Will you do me a favor?
I enjoy looking at them.
With Ralph Macchio, the old Karate Kid. Don't even look at it.
I just think it was funny for me with Ralph Vacchiano. It's like, oh, he's a New Yorker. I don't know who the Seahawks are. That makes sense. Eric Edholm, though, has them as the 3rd best team in the NFL.
Probably in between those.
Yeah, I would think they're probably somewhere in between. But I've always thought those were interesting.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Kraken in Ottawa tonight, Brock. Don't know who the goalie is yet. I guess I could look. They may have that up. Maybe Decord for a 4th game. Maybe one of the other two will get a start. Senators have not started off very well. They're 1-3. They got beat 8-4 last night, giving up an 8 spot. Not probably what they were looking for in Buffalo. Thursday night football with the two 40-year-olds getting after it. Aaron Rodgers on one side, Joe Flacco on the other.
Has it happened before? I'm sure there's been some old guys. Brady and Breeze, yeah. It's one of those things. When I've been in a locker room my whole life, so age isn't something that I think about. I just view myself as one of those 20-something-year-olds in the locker room, and so it's not something I really think about. But I think one day when you look back on it, it's just one of those things that'll be pretty cool to be able to, have a matchup like this.
How is Joe Flacco still playing at 40?
Because he can still throw a ball 80 yards.
He just got that strong an arm.
Yes. He's like a guy that can still throw a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, even at 40.
Right. So he just sticks around forever and ever.
By the way, I did a little crack research just now.
Yeah.
Winnipeg, due north of Fargo.
Yeah.
I mean, like due north.
Yeah.
And I had no idea how big Lake Winnipeg is.
Oh.
I mean, it is ginormous.
Big lake?
Oh.
Talking
it
about
looks like
big
Lake
lake there,
Superior.
huh?
Yeah. It's big.
Wow.
Hey, big up there.
Like the one they call Getchaguni?
Yes, that one.
That would be Lake Superior.
You want to sing that whole song?
I probably don't. That is everything you need to know.
Sing it for Burkhart. I'm sure he would love it.
You think he's a big fan of Gordon Lightfoot?
You and Benetti, the only two humans I know that know every word.
I don't know every word to that. I don't know why
don't?
you think that. No. I mean, I like the song a lot, but I don't know every word to the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. I love it. Don't get me wrong. It's a great song.
No, I'm not even going to ask.
You don't think Lyle knows that?
No.
How come?
Is Lyle awake back there?
He doesn't seem it today.
Yes.
Lyle, are you awake?
Yes, but as in shocking fashion, don't know the song.
You don't know that one?
No.
Oh,
Nope.
it's such a good one.
It is a pretty great song.
It's a real historical one. They bet wrong on the
I think
weather.
somebody's making a big documentary about it.
Are they?
Yeah, I think so.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down the big lake.
Yep.
Getchaguni.
At what point in my life would you guys expect me to hear something like this?
I don't know. It's been on a lot.
Down at ASU, I don't know, around the fire.
No, I don't think that's what they were playing.
It's too bad. You really missed out. It's a really, really, really great song.
It's an 8.5-minute song.
Yeah. Play a little more if you want.
Sounds like 8.5 minutes too long.
It kind of just has the same. It has no chorus. It just does this over and over again.
In the weather forecast, it was wrong that day. The winds came up and tore the big ship in half.
Yeah.
Sad.
It's a true story. Sad.
It is. You know what? Let's not be playing songs about ships going down with
All
the
right.
mariners. Let's not do that. Let's be done with that.
You want to play Sundown by Gordon Lightfoot as well?
Yes.
That's a pretty good one. All right. We're not killing time, I promise. We're just playing great music, good music, great oldies here on the Brock and Salk Show today as Kevin Burkhart, who is truly one of my favorites, going to join us next. Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
The one and only Mark Schlereth. Every Monday at 4 during the NFL season with Wyman and Bob.
Trevor Lawrence gets sacked 7 times in this game.
When you start kind of moving guys around, you had a great rotation with a bunch of, guys that came off the bench like Mafi and all those guys. And then they kept putting Leonard Williams and DeMarcus Lawrence on the same side. I think Mike McDonald did a really good job of attacking.
On Seattle Sports, on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
All right, Mike Salk here. Let's start thinking about getting ready for the next few months. You want to look your best heading into the holiday season, and you got to start now in order to make that happen. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic can absolutely help. You can lose 25 pounds in a month like I did. I lost 35 pounds overall, so that would get it all done by Thanksgiving. How nice would that be? No pills, no injections, totally safe, no counting calories, no prepackaged fake meals, none of that. You follow a plan, you buy real food that's delicious and fresh, you buy it all at the grocery store, and they got awesome recipes so everything tastes good, and you don't find yourself that hungry. It's really not that hard, I'm telling you. A couple of months, and you could get this done. Their team will help. They'll give you some coaching, some encouragement, and maybe the best part, some accountability on there as well. All it takes to get started, free 15-minute phone consultation. You can book one today at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Progressive knows road trips without your pet can be tough.
Hi, this is Next Stop Dog Boarding.
Hi, it's Scott again. How's Squeaks doing? You can tell if he's stressed by his eyebrows. Oh, and his breathing should sound like this.
Scott, Squeaks is exactly the same as last time you called.
Okay, let's talk in 20 to see if anything's changed.
With Progressive, your pet is covered up to $1,000 in vet bills in case of a car accident. So next time, you can take your pet with you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound.
Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
At West Hills Autoplex, we thoroughly inspect and prepare every used car to be like new. Because to you, it is new. We also pay you top dollar for your vehicle. So there's no better place to give your old car a new story. Auto Center Way exit, Highway 3 Bremerton.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more, he's got to have more.
More bedtime true crime.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More.
Fast internet speed. He's got the gigs to go big. Bring him the games.
Right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop. His quantum fiber's on top. Yay to you. Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service and speed in select locations only.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
This is where you hear your AL West champion Mariners in the playoffs. Seattle Sports.
This Breast Cancer Awareness Month, choose care that puts you first. At Snoqualmie Valley Health, you won't wait weeks for a mammogram. Appointments are available now, just 30 minutes east of Seattle. Experience the difference with advanced 3D mammography and our new Breast Health Suite, designed for accuracy, comfort, and peace of mind. If you're 40 and older, yearly screenings are recommended, and no referral is needed if you haven't had a mammogram in the past year. Don't wait. Detect early. Schedule today at snoqualmievalleyhealth.org.
At Bible Law Group, we understand when your legal problems hit biblical levels. That's why you can't wait 20 years to make the playoffs. You need help in court now. With James Bible and his team by your side, don't panic when the giants you're facing seem 10 feet tall or when you feel trapped in a lion's den of litigation. At Bible Law Group, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. When your legal problems are biblical, contact Bible Law and let our talented team get to work. No matter the case, find us at BibleLawGroup.com.
As a quarterback, you cannot run a winning play with a messy playbook. And most companies' data, well, it's a mess. AI is changing the game, but if your data is scattered, you're stuck on the sidelines. Brock Heward here, and this is where my friends at Marquee Data come in. They get your data in shape, clean, connected, ready to perform, so you can finally put AI to work for your business. Whether sales, finance, or operations, every smart move starts with the right data. So head to mydataqb.com to draw up your game-winning data play today. That's Marquee Data or mydataqb.com.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump System from Home Comfort Lines is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings, and every quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
This hour is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Oh, this is it. What? It's Brock and Salk, Sales Sports on 710salesports.com, and we will talk in just a moment or two to Kevin Burkhart, one of my favorites. I think he does a great job, both football and baseball, of course. He does Fox lead football play-by-play for the NFL, and then he's their studio host for baseball, and he does a great job with both of those things. So one of my favorites. Looking forward to talking to him here, Brock, in just a couple of minutes.
Which is, I believe, where he started, right, with the Mets?
Yes, I think he started in baseball. Yeah.
I think he started in baseball. So
yeah.
Heart for baseball. And if you could do baseball, my life experience, the guys like Benetti, like Joe Davis, like Adam Amin, those guys that can do baseball generally can do football. Sean McDonough, another one, right, with the Red Sox.
Yeah.
I think a little harder the other way. Like if you're just a football first guy, like I don't know if Gus Johnson could do baseball. Right? I don't know if some of those football
I think that's right.
guys.
Baseball probably takes a little bit more adjustment to be able to just the long. And then it's funny. Hockey.
With shoes at one time. Go ahead.
No, I just have always heard. I've never done any play-by-play, but have always heard hockey while it sounds the hardest, actually is pretty easy once you get into it because it's just rhythm. And once you get into the rhythm, but I'm always surprised at how I think hockey's incredibly hard to call because it's so fast.
So fast.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk to Kevin Burkhart. Brock, he's here with us now from Fox and kind of have to take a few minutes. Good morning, Kevin. How are you?
Good morning, fellas. How we doing? I'm doing great, letting the morning coffee work, and all is good in the world. Good to be with you.
This is chaos season for you, isn't it? Is this kind of the stretch of chaos season, juggling both these balls?
Yeah, it's so fun though, Brock. You know that, right? Like it's like, you know, baseball every night, and then go fly and do a football game on Sunday, and then come back and do baseball again. It's so cool to be a part of all these big moments, and I just love it. So, like I said, just more coffee. That's the solution to everything for me.
I've said many times, Kevin, that you're one of my favorites. I think you do a great job. I've been talking you up all day, and I don't know whether well, it's true. I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true, but I don't have to blame you or someone at Fox. I think what you're doing is cruel. I think it's not fair.
What am I doing?
I don't know whether you're responsible, so I don't know whether it's you. But the idea of asking these poor guys, poor David, poor Alex, poor Derek, poor Dontrell, asking them to make predictions for what is going to happen every night, it's cruel. It's absurd. Nobody has any freaking idea what is going to happen next in this or any other series. Why do you make them do that?
It's got, and they hate it so much. It's so great. Like the funny thing is like, you know, obviously we try to have a little fun, but also give you a little knowledge too. And if you go back and watch our pregame show last night, the guys got literally everything they talked about happened in the game in terms of like, you know, Vlad doing what he's going to do, what he has to do, and certain things, and you know, just key points of the game, and they got all that right. But the scores, they never get right. The teams, like it's almost like if you're a better. Now, last night I think they split it. I think David had Toronto, and I think actually David had Toronto. The other three picked Seattle. But I swear, you look at that, you'd be like, I'm going to do the opposite. It's amazing. Like so. We get on them now, and they hate predicting because they're so bad on it. But now it's become kind of a fun thing of the show, actually.
Compare and contrast the predictive nature of MLB versus the other sport you cover, the NFL.
I think it's just because it's daily, you know, and there's so much. It is wild how, I mean, look, obviously we see the NFL on a week-to-week basis, and we see games like, how the heck did that happen? Or, you know, didn't see that coming, of course. But the thing that's so interesting about baseball that it's amazing how, you know, one team looks like one thing one night, and then the very next night, it's a complete opposite. It's like amazing, right? I mean, the Blue Jays looked like they were dead in the water, and the team that destroyed the Yankees was just non-existent. And Springer hit a home run in game one to lead off the game. And then Julio hits a home run last night. You're like, oh, good night. It's over, right? And then all of a sudden, it's like a finger snaps, and the thing totally changes in the third inning. I think that's what makes it so hard, Brock, is that it's just, you know, from a night-to-night basis, there are so many things that can change. And a reliever slider, which was so great the night before, sucks tonight, and it changes the whole outcome of the game.
You think these wild crowds have any effect on the game?
Not really. I think listen, I think they do to an extent, right? I think like you can I think you can get caught up in a little bit of an avalanche for sure when things are going bad, or you know, I think, you know, you get a play like the Orion Kirkring play for the Phillies against the Dodgers, right? Where it's like, oh my God, I got to make this play, panic, crowds going nuts type of thing, and you throw it to the wrong base. So I do think it has an impact. I think it's great for the home players, and I think, you know, can it get on the visiting players? I think to a degree. I think it has an impact more in football than it does in baseball, because I think football really impacts communication in a big way. I mean, you know, I don't want to speak for Brock. He knows better than me. But, you know, just in talking to players that I've talked to, that seems to be the case. And it is funny that, you know, two of the best home teams in the league in Toronto and Seattle seem to win at home early on in this series. It's kind of wild.
Kevin Burkhart here with us from Fox. You know the voice, the lead analyst there, with Tom Brady up in the Sunday night primetime game each and every week, and now they're on the desk with all the Hall of Famers. Sitting with those guys, and maybe even your own research, Kevin, what have you learned about our beloved Seattle Mariners?
Yeah, well, I during the year I watch as much baseball as I can, hosting the national show, and for me, from an outsider's perspective, Brock, and someone who doesn't live there, we've always talked about, my God, this pitching staff is so good. Can they get some hitting? Right? It's always been that way. And this year they did get some hitting, but the guys were kind of banged up, and they missed a lot of the missed key parts of the season. And so now I think that, those pieces are together. And, of course, it would be great if Wu was fully healthy and starting on regular rest like normal. I think it's like you're looking at, okay, starting pitching is not dead yet, right? You're seeing that with the Mariners and the Dodgers. And then, I think the length of the Mariners lineup is what struck the guys. And it's what struck me, too, because obviously about Cal. And it's been fascinating, as great as Julio is, that he's, the last couple of years he's taken a back seat to Cal Wally, which I think is a good thing for him. But it's the, Polanco's, which we all know was a really, really good player, coming and delivering like he has, which has been insane. Arozarena hasn't really checked in yet, even though he hit the home run late last night. But, you want to see him get involved. I think you just look at their lineup, you're like, man, this is the best lineup they've had in a long, long time. And now with the pitching, minus last night, the way it's been, that's why they've got a chance. So it's just been cool to see it all come together. And obviously, the history there is, to see them in this point, where they've never been and have a chance to go where they've never gone to the World Series is just so cool. And I feel so good for those fans.
So I'm trying to think of where were you in like 2004, 2005, early 2000s? Where were you at that point in your career?
That's a great question. What was I doing then? I
think was 17, at that point, 17, 18.
17, 18 years old, of course.
Here's
the reason.
Point I was, what do you got?
If I had told you in like 2005, you're going to be spending all of your days with Tom Brady, Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter, and David Ortiz, what would you have said?
It's preposterous. It really makes no sense. If you would have told the kid in me, if you would have told the adult in me, years ago before this all happened, that this was going to be a thing. We had a dinner a couple weeks ago. We were doing a Chargers game on Sunday, and we were here for the baseball. So our whole conglomerate was at dinner. Baseball and football was really a lot of fun. And I'm just sitting there at the dinner, and I'm next to all these guys, and I'm just like, man, how lucky am I? How crazy is this that I'm just, sitting at dinner and shooting the breeze and sharing stories with these guys who are my friends and my coworkers. And it's just, I appreciate every second of it, but it doesn't make any sense. Doc. It does not.
I mean, it's really remarkable. And I left one guy off there, and shame on me, because I actually think Dontrelle Willis, as an analyst, is as good as anybody out there. I love him on the Apple broadcast when he was doing those. I think he's a great, great baseball color analyst in terms of mixing some humor with some real information. What have you learned from him? Because he's sort of the one guy who comes at it from a different perspective, the pitching side. What have you learned from Dontrelle being around him?
I covered him. When I worked for the Mets, I was a reporter for the Mets for years, and so he played for the Marlins. So I knew him when he was a player, and I always loved him then because he was, he was smart and he had a great personality, and he just had that fire, like every time he pitched. And so when he came in starting to do TV, we had a little bit of a relationship to start, and then we just hit it off. And he has worked his butt off to be good at this. He's not just come in and let me talk pitching and go home. He comes in, he's got a notebook full of notes. He's talked to people. He's watched all these games. And, quite honestly, as amazing as our guys are, and they're connected and they're great and they're obviously Hall of Famers, I think, D-Train is so important to the show because he gives us pitching perspective, and he knows what it's like to be on the mound. He knows exactly what the guy's going through, and he knows what happened to George Kirby last night. I love him a lot, like a brother. And it's just cool because he's worked so hard. The analyst thing, he got asked to do it, and he was a little apprehensive. And I was like, hey, man, you should do it. You'd be really, really good at it. I was like, it's a lot of work, but you have no aversion to work. So you should do it. And now he loves it. And it's pretty cool. You guys know, there's not a lot of guys that are good as both a studio and a game analyst. That's hard to do. And he's, I think, mastered it.
Hey, KB, couple final questions here. I'm going to shift one to football in just a second. But curious from your perspective, I think I have my reasons. Salk has his reasons. Lyle and Maura have their reasons. I'm curious from your perspective as you go to all these different markets in baseball and football, and you get to experience their fan bases. And if it's been once, it's been 100 times. You've talked about the 12s and the Seahawk fans, as everybody does, sitting in that broadcast booth on the 50-yard line of just how unbelievably electric it is. T-Mobile has been the exact same way with 47,000 crazies that didn't leave in that 5-hour affair and hardly sat down. From an outside perspective, why do you think this fan base is as rabid as they are?
Because I think, nationally they get overlooked. Now, if you're someone as lucky as me who's done 1 million games there and knows how great it is, it's not overlooked. But I think, you guys know this, Seattle's this beautiful place. It's tucked in the corner of the country. And I could speak to this as an East Coast person growing up when I didn't travel and my family didn't have any money. Seattle might as well have been Mars to me. Right. So, and I think quite honestly, there's a lot of people on that side of the country that feel the same way. If they happen to do travel west, maybe they're going to California or they're going to Arizona, but most people don't go to Seattle, sadly, as beautiful as it is. And so they don't ever get to see it. So deep down in my soul, I always feel like when I come, it's like everyone kind of saying to the rest of the world, like, look how great this place is. Because that's how I feel when I come up there. I love coming to Seattle. I don't get to do it enough. And I have, especially recently. So hopefully we could change that in a few days and get up there for the World Series. But that's always been my feel. And it's always, as a Northeast and someone who grew up in the Northeast, it's always had that Northeast sports vibe to it. It really does. I think it's on the same wavelength as that, with the passion and the noise. And I don't think there's many other places in the country like it.
Are we going to get you for some Seahawks games at some point this year? I mean, if they keep playing well, we're going to have to get you at some point, right?
Doug, I love it, man. Right now, no, I don't know everything we've got the rest of the year. Like, we have some of the America's games of the week, which are kind of locked in unless something crazy happens. But yeah, I hope so. I mean, they're playing great, right? I haven't sat down and watched an end-to-end Seahawk game yet. I've seen parts and I've seen clips. I saw some of that wild Tampa-Seattle game, which was really, really nuts. But hey, you gotta like when an offense and defense are top 6 in the league, huh? That's pretty good. Last time I checked, and I'm just so happy for Sam because, last year was such a revelation for him getting opportunity, and he was great. And unfortunately, he had the 2 toughest games of the year for him at the end of the year. So getting to kind of prove that he's the real deal, and it is awesome in an offense that's really clicking. And I think Minnesota misses him big time.
Well, we won't ask you to predict anything because obviously that's not going well.
Really, we're not good at it.
Yeah, we're just not good at it. So we're not even going to go down that road. And people here a little, yesterday didn't sit well with a lot of our listeners, not surprisingly. So let me just ask you this to maybe raise the mood a little bit, and then we'll let you go. What is your favorite thing about postseason baseball?
I was actually having a conversation with my wife about this. And I think the beauty of postseason baseball is, there's ebbs and flows in the baseball season, and you have fans that are diehards that watch every single minute. You have fans that come and go, and they watch here and there, or the team gets hot and they watch, or the team gets cold and they're out, that type of thing. And it's a commitment. It's a big commitment. But I think the beauty of it, even for me, who's in this, awesome position being around these guys and watching these shows, is every pitch is like you just don't know what's going to happen, and you live and die by it. I mean, I was talking about that dinner, Mike, when hanging with all these guys, but watching the games with them, it's the same way. It's cool for me to turn to my left and see like A-Rod and Poppy and Derek Jeter and D-Train like jumping off the couch when like Julio hits it out, or there's a big pitch for a strikeout. That's the cool thing, which you don't get. Like regular season, you're sitting on your couch, you're relaxing. Maybe you got friends over, you're talking, you're quasi paying attention, you're scrolling on your phone. Postseason baseball, you're not scrolling on your phone. You're barely talking to your friend. You're just locked into every pitch. I don't think there's anything like it. That's what's awesome to me.
And Fox covers it really well and does such a good job of showing the anxiety in the crowd. I mean, every single game, Fox finds the most anxious people in the crowd, and we get the close-ups, and I love it. I laugh every time because I'm one of them.
Can I ask you guys a question? I always love coming on and shooting the breeze with you guys, so I enjoy this. But give me a little insight here. So I know that y'all have been doing like the shoe on the head rally thing for a couple years, but I need to know. I feel like when we show these, sometimes those shoes are clearly not that person's shoe. Like I'm looking at it, I'm like, there is no way that guy wore that shoe into the stadium. That shoe looks like it's 35 years old.
You think there's some phony shoe work?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, do you agree? It feels like do they pick them up on the way into the stadium? I don't know. I feel like there needs to be some detective work there.
Well, Kevin, there's some quirky neighborhoods in the Pacific Northwest.
That's for sure.
So
People coming in from Fremont and they may have extra shoes that they bring
where
just
you guys
for that.
stay when you come to town, you're not in some of the quirkier parts of town where they do wear those shoes quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, no, I think those are kind of the real article. Kind of the real gems.
Brock, are you putting that on your head? Is the sole of the shoe touching your hair when you're at the Mariners game?
Have you seen Brock's hair? There's no chance he would let that happen.
I'm not.
That's why I'm asking the question.
I wouldn't do that. Yeah, that's not my cup of tea. But you want to get to Pioneer Square. You want to get to, Capitol Hill. You want to get up north to Fairhaven. Do a lot more than that. Do a lot more than put their scrubby old shoe on top of their heads.
Yeah. All right. Well, Kevin,
this is what I need. I need the real insight. This is why I asked the question. This is why you guys are the best.
I mean, we've been mostly just debating whether or not Humpy would keep winning after the big Game 5 win in the salmon race. So,
what happened there? He's totally turned his legacy around.
Yeah, and I think the Moose is now a little upset too. I mean, the Moose has been sort of passed over. Everyone's talking about Humpy. They've sold out of all Humpy gear at the pro shop. So, I mean, things are in flux here, Kevin.
So we've jumped the shark. Humpy won. We decided to keep it going, and now maybe after last
and now
night,
Humpy should never win again.
Take a big L.
He should have retired. is
Never
what I
win
said.
again.
Go out
Never
on
win
top,
again.
man. You win one, just go out on top. Kevin, thank you so much. Really appreciate all the time you give us, and hopefully, yes, we'll see you here in another couple weeks for the World Series. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, we'd love to see you guys. Hopefully, we get to do it. I'll talk soon.
There you go, the great Kevin Burkhart. I seriously, man, I think he is awesome. He is right there in that category for me of not just the best people at their job, but some of the best guests, along with Tirico, Buck, all those guys who are at the very, very top of their game. He has taken that #1 spot at Fox and just totally, he's awesome. I think he's great.
Do you know why? Because he's as genuine as the day is long.
And he's smart. You can hear it.
And he does. He talks to his wife and hangs with her, and she comes to the Fox party, and she's an amazing lady as well. He's real.
Yeah,
he's real. And I think in a business, oftentimes it does not have that authenticity. He totally and completely cuts through. He is really, really great. Hey, here's a quick question for you for the text toy. 866-979-3776.
There's a lot of text, by the way, on the rally shoe stuff.
I bet there is. If the Mariners get to the World Series, and I got to take A-Rod and KB and some of those folks to dinner for all the time that they spend.
Yeah.
Where am I taking them to dinner?
I mean, Ascend would be pretty good.
Okay.
It's so nice that in some ways it's not as indicative of Seattle. It's more of a Bellevue, and it's beautiful. And the view, I mean, it's hard to beat Ascend. I mean, that's pretty damn good. That's really, really good. Man, but what are you looking for? Are you looking for that, or are you looking for something that's like as Seattle-y as it gets?
Yeah, probably more of that.
I mean, for me, Brock, the two places that would be hard to beat would either be probably my two favorite restaurants, Single Shot in Capitol Hill, or Staple and Fancy in Ballard. Now, you talk about some weird neighborhoods and weird people. I mean, like, you're going to see it all, right? Like, if you're trying to show KB
hey, Kevin, you want to talk about these shoes? Here you go.
Right.
Here's these shoes.
Right. Like, you may see it all, but those would be the two that would, those are probably my two absolute favorite, go back over and over.
Well, I'll say this, the last few years being on the road, and a lot of years, decades being on the road, but the last couple, at the end of the season, we do kind of an end-of-year awards for favorite production meeting, favorite moment, favorite picture, favorite meal that we ate, because we would typically get, with the schedule, usually one meal a weekend out. And the last 2 years on trips to Washington, partly led by Captain Tom's Dungeness crab that we caught morning of and ate on the dock, which was absolutely insane in a November day, Sea Star.
I mean, Sea Star's great.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with Sea Star or Canless or some people making suggestions that are national steak chains. Like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with going to Ruth's Chris or Capitol Grill. Those places are great, but you can do that in every city. Right. I mean, you got to. Somebody said Palisade. The view's incredible. The Met obviously is local, but again, now you're just talking steak. And those places are great. I'm not knocking. They're all awesome. Every one of those places.
Daniel's great steak. Yep.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of very Seattle-specific kind
What's
of
the one in
unique
Ballard?
spots. Staple and Fancy. That's one of Ethan's places.
When people ask, I got to add that.
Staple and Fancy is so good, and it's like a tasting menu deal. So, all right, we don't need to keep talking food. We got a lot of important baseball conversations to have. But you know what? After the loss yesterday, everybody needs a little pick-me-up. Kevin gave a lot of that. Right, I thought Kevin gave a really.
I thought his insights on the Northeast, and I thought that was.
It was like
telling.
90% right.
Okay.
You want a little more? We can go deeper into that and what needs to happen. Do you guys want to do a little trash takes? Because Maura's got the fantasy forecast at 9:45 today. We didn't get to trash takes yesterday because of A-Rod.
Can we do a half baseball, half trash takes? Do you think we could slip both that in?
Try. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I don't know. You guys will have to stick around. We'll all fight it out during the break, and we'll be right back on Brock and Salk.
Hawks Live. Touchdown! Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square's center court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer with this week's guest, Seahawks safety Ty Okada.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Northwest homeowners, when it comes to your roof, you need a name you can trust. Techline Roofing has proudly served the Seattle area for years, delivering exceptional results and lasting security. Choose Techline Roofing. Your trust is our foundation. Trust Techline.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
At Washington Energy Services, we take the time to get to know you and your home. We have the passion and commitment to see each project through and to treat our work as more than just a job. For over 65 years, we've offered award-winning home services, from heating and cooling, plumbing and electrical, to windows and doors. Complete home improvement handled from start to comfort. For peace of mind when you need it most, count on Washington Energy Services, bringing good energy to your home.
At Cressy Door, we have the perfect garage door for you. Come visit our brand new garage door and fireplace showroom and let our experts help you find the perfect garage door. Cressy Door.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing $20 a month and bill credit plus $5 to line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at cmobile.com.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
911, what's your emergency?
A tornado. It's coming right at us.
ABC Thursdays, the 911 universe expands to Nashville.
A fire out is a tornado. 2 miles.
From executive producer Ryan Murphy.
Get everyone you can and send them out here now.
Chris O'Donnell, Jessica Capshaw, Kimberly Williams-Paisley, Leanne Rhymes.
We are on the move. Held us safe, kid.
911 Nashville. All new Thursdays, 9/8 Central on ABC and stream next day on Hulu.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Baseball's postseason is here.
And so does everyone in this building.
Seattle sports playoff coverage is presented by Honey Bucket, 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
Give me the freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Marcus. Sorry about Mike
Heward. Not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Oh, man, great stuff today, coming off of a difficult night last night. Sometimes you just got to make it fun. You got to kind of snap and clear, Brock. Think about the future tonight. Be resilient. Stay loose. Don't get overly emotional or overly upset. I think you and I were getting into it a little bit last night during the game. Brock had to walk away and clear the mind and take a couple of melatonins and show up ready for work today.
We'll be friends tomorrow. We'll
good.
be friends tomorrow morning, remember? I think that was my final sign-off.
Yeah.
I'm done, but we'll be friends in the morning.
I like that this time, though, Lyle got involved. I was just watching.
Lyle was done with Brock.
I was watching
last
from
night.
the sidelines.
Lyle was done. Brock went one lane too far, and Lyle finally snapped last night. All right, so generally we do this Wednesdays at 9:45, but with A-Rod yesterday taking up most of that time, we didn't get to. So this is Trash Takes, where the three of you, Brock and Lyle and Maura, come up with the worst things they've heard in sports media over the course of the week, and the guy who knows everything about a bad take decides which one's worse. We call it Trash Takes.
Get it together. Don't look like trash.
Trash Takes.
It's a bunch of trash.
Oh, gosh. I thought it was trash.
On Brock and Salk.
That's a terrible take.
Don't worry, Brock. The Trash Master hat is out. So I'm ready for Trash Takes today.
Good.
Brock, why don't you go first, I think.
I'll go first. I'm a little torn on this one. This one gained some popularity yesterday. I'm not. Jonathan Gannon, first impression, horrendous. Second and third impression, a little better. This year, back to that horrendous. And I think he's got the highest odds, he and Mike McDaniel, to be the next NFL coach fired.
Mm-hmm.
This was the end, the very end. Did you hear this yesterday? This was
I've heard about it.
The very end of his press conference yesterday.
Coach, how early in your career did you have to start trying to figure out how to take the emotion out of coaching, as far as when you have all these injuries and you have all these different pieces? When's the first time that you can recall that?
2007, when our quarterback went to jail.
And then he just sat there, right? And didn't say anything and then walked away?
Yeah.
Dude, he's weird.
He's a strange bird, man.
Do you know him at all?
Never cross paths.
Do you know people that know him?
Never cross paths. Yep. He was, at that point, a quality control coach for the Atlanta Falcons.
Right. So it was a long time ago.
That's when Michael Vick got in all his troubles, and so he's kind of throwing Michael Vick under the bus as well. Like,
it's just weird. Dude, he's weird.
He's a weird dude.
Really weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Maura, what do you have today? I think Maura's the reigning champ, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
She usually is. The sound hound.
This one's
Not surprised.
interesting because this person has apologized for this tape.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't mean it wasn't trash, so I'm still going to roll with it.
Is this Boomer Esiason?
No.
Doubtful. Nothing ever seemed to come of that.
No.
This is Tua Tagovailoa after
Tua.
the Dolphins lost Sunday.
Well, I think it starts with the leadership in helping articulate that for the guys, and then what we're expecting out of the guys, right? We're expecting this. Are we getting that? Are we not getting that? We have guys showing up to player-only meetings late, guys not showing up to player-only meetings. Like, there's a lot that goes into that. Do we have to make this mandatory? Do we not have to make this mandatory? So it's a lot of things of that nature.
It really sounds like he's not including himself in the players. Like he's talking about a whole nother group of people. And then I don't think airing your dirty laundry of who shows up late to meetings and everything is the best strategy when you've already got some issues going on.
I was thinking about that. Think of Tua's life. An Islander, shatters all these records, state champ, goes to Alabama, plays in the height of Nick Saban's process and leadership. And then he's got a head coach who wears joggers and vapes. Like, can you just, like, his whole life cycle is playing for leadership and coach.
It's just
like,
a different fit.
A little different animal for Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
I mean, but he had a stricter coach in Brian Flores, and Flores wasn't too happy with him. And I don't know. I'm starting to question Tua's leadership.
Gotcha. Fair.
Lyle?
Yeah, I know we played it yesterday, but it was so bad that I have to do it again. I was fully planning to use this as a trash take this week before you decided to play it yesterday for good reason, but here's Craig Carton again.
Toronto suddenly forgot how to hit a baseball, which makes me think they were probably cheating against the New York Yankees. And were stealing the Yankee signs.
Well,
and I'll go to my grave believing that.
No credit to Seattle's pitcher?
Because the dude who started for Seattle last night was a journeyman, no-name, their fourth or fifth best pitcher.
Yeah.
He was not one of their main guys. And Toronto, outside of the Springer leadoff home run, didn't hit the ball last night. And I'm saying to myself, no, wait a minute. Toronto can't hit the ball against this tool, but when Max Fried is on the mound, he couldn't get out of the third inning?
Dude. A tool, he says. Like, you're taking personal shots, first off. Second of all, Bryce Miller's been in the league 3 years and with one org. He's in his age 26 season. And the Blue Jays were a better team than the Yankees. So what are we talking about?
All right, so let's consider. Lyle, we do have to deduct some points because we've already played it on the show this week. Brock, the Gannon thing is definitely weird, but I don't know if it's trash. He's just weird. He's going to get fired just because he's too weird. I think he did a decent job last year, better than I thought he would, but that guy's just a weirdo, and I'm not going to. When weirdos do weird things, all right, shake your hand. Sorry, Brock. Maura, on Tua, you're right, and he did apologize. I don't know, I think he's also kind of right. Like, if all those things are happening, he's probably so unbelievably mad about it at this point that he doesn't know what else to do. I'm guessing that going to the media with this was essentially a last resort. He's tried in 5 other ways to get this thing to be better.
I can't even take you seriously right now. You look ridiculous.
Well, the hat doesn't work well with the... It comes down over my ears. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
The hat's like falling off its side, but your headphones are
You look
half
like
off.
Dopey Dwarf.
He does.
I do. But now I can actually hear, which is a huge plus. So, Maura, I appreciate bringing Tua up, but I don't know. I think that's just a weird situation that he's like at the end of his rope. So I'm gonna say that Lyle, even with points deducted, the stupidity of what Craig Carton said is so intense that Lyle's gonna win trash takes with a trash take we've already talked about for a half hour yesterday. It's that ridiculous. And it truly makes me think that Craig Carton is either joking or literally knows nothing about baseball. Because it's not even just a not knowing who Bryce Miller is or any of the details about him. It's like a complete lack of understanding of how baseball even works. It's so bizarre.
But doesn't that affirm what KB said? Like the Craig Cartons of the world, we might as well be in Tokyo. Like they just don't pay any attention.
I understand that, and I know that. Of course, Craig Carton doesn't know who Bryce Miller is. I'm not even saying that part of it. Like that part is rude and ridiculous. But like thinking again, I feel like he's got to be joking because it's such a ridiculous take.
Yeah, like don't talk about the Mariners if you don't know baseball. Just admit you don't know anything
the idea
about
that
the Mariners.
like a pitcher or a team would hit well one day and not the next day, like yeah, no kidding. Like, is this your first baseball game?
Do you think the Jays had Kirby's pitches last night?
I don't know what was happening.
They had little tell on Kirby.
Who knows? That is trash takes. And Craig Carton, that is some significant trash. And I say that while wearing the dumbest hat of all time. All right, coming up. Brock.
Was there a dopey dwarf? Was
yeah.
he one of the 12 dwarfs?
Let's see. You got Doc. You got Sleepy.
You look a little bold, like both of those.
Yeah, Dopey
two.
was the one with the big purple
Yeah, you
hat.
got Dopey.
And the green
Dopey,
robe.
yeah.
You got
there you go.
Grumpy.
Right.
You got Grumpy. I think I've been compared to Grumpy before in terms of dwarfs.
Yeah. That's good.
We got Slashy Lyle.
You have Bashful. You have Bashful and Sleepy. Yeah, like I think I can get most of the dwarfs.
Good.
I think. I know I'm missing someone. In the mine. In the mine. In the mine. All right, we'll be right back with everything you need to know next.
Welp, the Blue Jays finally showed up here in the ALCS.
Deep to right field, that ain't coming back. And the Blue Jays now lead it 13-4.
On to Game 4 tonight at T-Mobile, where the Mariners look to bounce back.
This is a team that has done this a lot this year in terms of bouncing back.
And pull within one win of the World Series. First pitch at 5:30. On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports. On 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Now, the fall is such a great time for many reasons. Football's in the air, our baseball team's in the playoffs, and yeah, yesterday didn't go great. And I know the weather is going to turn, and the rain and the darkness is going to come. So you know what else the fall is? It's a great time to reset your workouts on new stuff. And Top Fitness got some great deals going on now. And working out in your own home gym, it is the very best. From flooring to everything that goes in that home gym, like treadmills, ellipticals, and strength training systems, guess what? Top Fitness provides it all. They represent the very best brands available, like Washington and Woodinville's own Precor, the company that created the elliptical, and Inspire Fitness, the leader in strength training machines, along with many others. Here's the deal. You give Top Fitness your room dimensions. Maybe you got some space in your garage or an extra room, and you know what? They'll do a complete fitness room design. And right now, get 0% interest financing and mention you heard it from me, and they'll take an additional $100 off any new treadmill or home gym. It's no secret why everyone from personal trainers to pro athletes, they love Top Fitness. Locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
More fiber and laxatives, eh? Who are you? I'm future you. Future me? Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Our doctor figured it out. It's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. And Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, a full sports book and bar, over 1,000 top-rated slots and table games, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Hundreds of vehicles on the ground, 8 dealerships, 14 brands, all in one location. Visit West Hills Autoplex. We have more brands in one location than anywhere else in Washington State, import or domestic, new or pre-owned. We make finding your perfect vehicle easy, and that means a remarkable car buying experience for you. Skip the hassle with West Hills' streamlined buying experience and feel confident buying from your neighborhood family-owned dealerships. West Hills Autoplex, Auto Center Way exit, Highway 3, Bremerton.
This Breast Cancer Awareness Month, choose care that puts you first. At Snoqualmie Valley Health, you won't wait weeks for a mammogram. Appointments are available now, just 30 minutes east of Seattle. Experience the difference with advanced 3D mammography and our new Breast Health Suite, designed for accuracy, comfort, and peace of mind. If you're 40 and older, yearly screenings are recommended, and no referral is needed if you haven't had a mammogram in the past year. Don't wait. Detect early. Schedule today at snoqualmievalleyhealth.org.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, big mess last night. Not what anybody was looking for in Game 3. Opportunity for the Mariners to seize total control of the series, and instead, George Kirby just absolutely bashed in the third. Gives up 5 runs, including these.
Here's the 1-1. Swung on. That is ripped high, deep right field, and it is off the wall. Gets away from Robles. Guerrero scores. Kirk around third base. He's flying home. Varsho into second. A ringing 2-run double. And the Blue Jays add 2 more runs. It's 5-2 in the third.
Yeah, it got worse and worse from there, unfortunately, as he gave up another couple of runs. And then the bullpen came in and just threw a whole bunch of gasoline right on that fire before you knew it. They'd given up 13 runs. They did come back and a couple of back-to-back home runs from Randy and Cal. But
I hope that wakes up Randy, man.
Geez,
I know
how
he's
nice
had
would
some
that
walks. I know he's done some stuff. Great catch. He's stolen some bases.
Nice stolen base. Yeah.
Yep, I know he's done that. But playoff ranking. Remember, this was the 3rd most effective OPS.
Doesn't it? Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, it just makes me think that there's no such thing as any of that. It's all just like when you happen to get hot and when you're not. You think Randy's feeling pressure? No.
Nope.
Like, it's just when you're hot and when you're not. And some of these guys, they luck into it during the postseason, and some of them, unfortunately, don't.
Yeah, I'll tell you another guy that got a handle is Springer. I mean, that's 3 straight games, and he obviously knows the Mariners. He is good. He's been a problem and a nuisance. He was in Houston. Got to try to neutralize.
But you should be able to
him
pitch
and
around him
Vlad.
more than you used to. The problem with Springer was always he'd lead off. If you threw him a strike, he'd hit it out of the park. And if not, he'd walk and steal second. He doesn't steal
This
bases
other guy
anymore.
behind him is pretty good, and then Vlad's really good.
But he doesn't steal bases the way he
doesn't.
used to. I mean, like, you got to find some different ways to get him out. Shouldn't be nearly as much of a fear factor as it used to be. In the meantime, about as resilient a team as you are going to find. We've seen them bounce back over and over again. Julio knows.
I mean, like you said, like, it's just one game. Like, I mean, they're here for a reason too. I think they're a really good team, and they came out, swinging today, and they were able to definitely get the dub. But it's one game, and like just kind of how like we know they know that we got to line up tomorrow and play a baseball game again.
I've said this before, Brock, and I'll say it again. I just noticed it. You know how many players we had sound in our system from today? One.
Not many.
Just Julio. Now, that's not to say others didn't talk. I'm not accusing anyone else of not talking. I only see what's in the system. I wasn't in the clubhouse last night.
He don't back down.
Julio's ability, he has really been great. When things have been at their lowest points at every time this year, Julio Rodriguez has been front and center with the media, answering questions, owning up to where the team is at, being positive about where he thinks it's going to go. I give him a lot of credit. We've talked about his leadership skills and maybe pushing some of that onto Cal or allowing it to go to Cal over the last year or so. Julio still does a phenomenal job of being accountable, stepping up when the team needs him to take some of that heat, and that's what superstars do.
You ducking.
Oh, you ducking. He doesn't duck at all.
He does.
NLCS Game 3 tonight, Brock, back in L.A. Dodgers up 2-0 and looking to take a 3-0 lead.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Seahawks, meanwhile, are getting back to practice today. Extra day off before the Monday night game. And, yeah, I mean, I think that today's injury report is fairly significant, especially in the secondary. Just waiting to see whether or not those 3 starters are going to be able to go. In the meantime, I thought they actually played pretty well in the secondary without them. I don't know whether Jacksonville is like the greatest test of that, but they got some dudes.
17
that
hits.
helps. That
Makes it a
helps.
little easier
So
on
what
the
does that
back
look
end.
like against Houston? I mean, like, can you get after that
You
offensive
can.
line as well?
Houston's O-line has been Stroud gets hit a lot. Now they're pretty elite defensively. Like they're playing at a real high level on that side, and they get after you. And their D-line is, and their front seven is one of the strengths of their group. But yeah, you should at home, just as long as Mike McDonald goes up to Banff. Takes the team to Banff today, and then
Banff? That's pretty far.
Right?
That's
Trips
That's
in.
like outside of Calgary.
Road trips isn't that far. Road trips
Well,
in
yes, it
for
is.
a road home game.
You want him to drive to Banff?
Sure.
I think Banff is like a 16, 18-hour drive.
Okay, what
maybe
about an
more.
hour and 20-minute flight? Take their nice jet up there.
Okay, that maybe.
Yes.
You could probably pull that
Yes,
off, but I don't
there
think
we
you
go.
want them going a road trip there right now.
No road.
You want them
no.
out at Lake Louise right now? I don't see that happening necessarily. Seahawks all
How
over the
about War
place.
Memorial Field in Sandpoint?
That's
drivable.
Yes.
That's a great field. I've practiced on that field before.
Where is that? Oh, in Sandpoint, Idaho.
Sandpoint, Idaho.
I thought you
Right
meant there was a field in Sandpoint, like by the country club.
No, right on the lake.
Okay.
It's beautiful there, too.
Seahawks
Anywho.
all over the map in these power rankings. Fox and Ralph Vacchiano have them at 13, which seems low. Eric Edholm of NFL.com had them at 3 behind the Bucks and Lions. That feels a little high.
Yeah.
I think ESPN had it about right, and I think it's partly because ESPN has a good method. That's those two guys' individual power rankings, and Vacchiano's from New York, so they don't know who the Seahawks are, which is fine. But ESPN, remember Brady told us they have all of their Brady Hendersons from around the league vote each week. Right. And that's how they end up putting the power rankings together. So I think that makes a whole lot more sense than, like, I don't care what Ralph Vacchiano says.
I don't either. This is the 4th time you've mentioned his name, and may it be the last time. Next, push.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Funny. Kraken in Ottawa tonight, Brock. You want to see Joey DeCord for a 4th straight game, or would you like to see either Grubauer or Murray? What do you think? You don't seem
Scored
like
great the first couple, right?
Yeah. Just,
this is a long road trip.
Long road trip.
You're going to play both goalies.
And they're playing. They have 3 goalies on the roster, which is rare.
let alone the extra guy that sits in the stands.
Well, I don't know if you need the extra guy in the stands when you've got 3 goalies.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe
I thought they had a spare at every game.
Yeah, so that's an interesting question. If you've got a third goalie in the building,
right.
If both goalies get hurt, can you call him down to get dressed rather than having the rando? That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that one.
It's one of the most amazing things about hockey.
It is great.
It's just a rando.
We've been talking about that with Cecily's team because
So good.
they've got 2 goalies.
Are you the rando?
Am I? No,
Yeah.
I've never played goal.
Up at the Kraken Iceplex as much as
No.
you've been up there? No?
No,
If
so
something were to happen to the 2 goalies on Cecily's
well, something
team,
already
you're-
happened to one. So Maria and Eliza are the 2 goalies, and Eliza broke her wrist. Poor Eliza. She had broken wrist. She got a concussion. Like, she's falling apart. Somebody threw a lunchbox at her. Like, she's got a whole thing going on. And so we're wondering, like, what happens if Maria's playing, she gets hurt? Can we just, do we need to have somebody ready to go in on the alert 5?
I think you're going to have a rando.
Got to have a rando.
A rando mom.
They just stand there
Heather,
and net?
Heather, get
But I think
ready.
they've got to be under 12. I think that's part of the 12U deal. All right, that's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. Yeah, I don't know how that works. It's a good. We were debating if Eliza could just dress, and then like if Maria gets hurt, you just forfeit at that point. Like, sorry, we're not sending her out there. I'm just gonna forfeit at that point. So. Thursday night football tonight, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. What a matchup, Brock. Pittsburgh, I mean, throw out the record with those 2 teams. Battle of 40-year-old quarterbacks.
A-Rod going to get to 5-1, Salky.
He probably is. I got to tell you.
Running away with the AFC North.
I'm really glad the Mariners are on opposite that because I would not watch that game.
Yeah.
I don't think there's
Even for
anything you
DK?
could get me to do.
For DK, you don't want to see DK?
No, I just have no interest at all in watching that game tonight. None.
Yeah. Yep.
None. And especially if Al and Kirk are going to be like, if they're going to have as little interest in it as I do, like I could not want to watch that less than I do. All right. More, we can do a little fantasy forecast. So if you've got fantasy football questions, I know it's been such a big baseball week, but I hear Lyle and Maura talking about their fantasy teams and what's going on in the other room. So if you have questions, Maura's got answers. You can text her at 866-979-3776, and Maura will answer some fantasy questions for this week.
And up next, Salk is going to provide some optimism.
Yeah.
Of why you 47,000 can go in there tonight with some positivity, with some optimism, with some hope
Sounds
that
good.
you're going to get to 3-1.
Will it involve Humpy? That might be the question next on Brock and Salk.
Welp, the Blue Jays finally showed up here in the ALCS.
Deep to right field, that ain't coming back. And the Blue Jays now lead it 13-4.
On to Game 4 tonight at T-Mobile, where the Mariners look to bounce back.
This is a team that has done this a lot this year in terms of bouncing back.
And pull within 1 win of the World Series. First pitch at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
All right, you know where you're watching these games. There's a lot of options. None better than Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The new hotel really is just phenomenal. What they've done with the rooms and the spa and the pool and the expanded non-smoking gaming floor. But the highlight right now, it's got to be the beautiful new sports bar. 66 TVs, indoor, outdoor, great food. You guys are going to love this. And obviously, it's such a fun place because of everything else that goes with watching a game at a place like Snoqualmie Casino. You can find more at snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Lowe's knows pros want more. Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free to get $20 off your first qualifying purchase of $100 or more just for signing up. Plus, enjoy free standard shipping and more ways to save on your next job. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid for new members only. Not valid with any other discount. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/pro-loyalty for details. Subject to change.
Hey 12's Steve Rabel here for Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. For men 40 and older, a simple PSA blood test can help intercept prostate cancer early. You can get the simple test before the Crucial Catch game October 20th at Ticketmaster Tailgate.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
As a quarterback, you cannot run a winning play with a messy playbook. And most companies' data, well, it's a mess. AI is changing the game, but if your data is scattered, you're stuck on the sidelines. Brock Heward here, and this is where my friends at Marquee Data come in. They get your data in shape, clean, connected, ready to perform, so you can finally put AI to work for your business. Whether sales, finance, or operations, every smart move starts with the right data. So head to mydataqb.com to draw up your game-winning data play today. That's Marquee Data or mydataqb.com.
Ryan Roland Smith here. For more than 35 years, the NBA Health Insurance Trust has been helping local builders, contractors, and their employees save money and gain peace of mind. They offer customized group health plans from the state's leading insurance providers. Small and mid-sized businesses deserve big healthcare access. The NBA Health Trust brings you the coverage you want at a price you can trust. Find out more at mbahealthtrust.com. That's mbahealthtrust.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at prosculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's prosculpt.com.
I had a young woman who was on a new SUV, and she had attachments to her old car because it was her first car, and she had questions because she was doubling her spending budget, and she was very fiscally responsible. It was almost making her sick. And the best path at that point was to, let's stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier. These are major life accomplishments. You have the ability to afford at this tier. You've secured one of the major needs in your life. You should be feeling a tremendous amount of pride and respect for your accomplishments. I'm just grateful that we get to celebrate it with them, that we get to be part of it in that aspect of it.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Oh, man, there are a lot of fantasy questions now for Maura, so you should be ready to go for the fantasy forecast here in about 15 minutes. Good. And Maura's great because even if she doesn't get a chance to answer your question...
Well, maybe not today. You might have to hit me up on Twitter because we're doing the Great Shakeout today, so I think I'm going to...
What's that?
The earthquake
I would leave
awareness.
Do you not read the work emails, Salk?
No, I don't.
So I'm going to have to be out of the building.
I don't look at it at all. You know what? It goes to my junk folder now, so I don't even get to see any of that stuff. Yeah.
Well, anyways, we're doing that drill. So if I don't get to your fantasy question and you still have burning questions, you can tweet at me.
Okay, tweet at Maura, and you can find her that way. You can find her with her long fingers. Makes her very easily recognizable if you're looking for her on Twitter.
Long fingers.
At long fingers, yes, on Twitter. At long fingers. There's long shanks, and then there's Maura at long fingers.
Change my Twitter profile to a picture of my hands.
They're pretty funny. Brock, you want hope? There's plenty of reasons for hope. I mean, the two obvious ones are it's one game and it's meaningless, right? Because you come out the next day with absolutely no predictive value from the day before. The second is that this team has been so resilient this year. It's been a big part of who they are. Julio talked about it. Dan talked about it. We've played you the sound throughout the morning from both of them, and for obvious reasons. And it's really easy to give that take last night if you're Dan or Julio or anybody else connected to the team, because you just have so much evidence of it.
Again, this is a team that has done this a lot this year in terms of bouncing back, being resilient. We've used a lot of words for it, but tomorrow's gonna be that opportunity again for us, and these guys know how to prepare and be ready for that. And I don't expect it's going to be an issue for them at all. This is a team that has proven over and over again that fighting back, bouncing back, having resiliency is a part of their DNA, and tomorrow's a chance to do that again.
It is. And this is, as Lyle said to us in his email last night, this is the most favorable on paper, just your number crunching guys, pitching matchup you're going to have. Right? This is a Scherzer that is, a 40-something that isn't what he used to be. Now he's got loads of experience. He's got a bunch of moxie. He knows, and he can spin a baseball, and do those things and work around some of his deficiencies. But
he's 41.
You get Luis at home, who has been red hot and pitched, terrifically his last half dozen starts against a lineup that does swing and does put the ball in play. And as long as that sinker is starting like middle of the plate, Salk, because these guys do have pretty good eye too. Like they will walk, right? There's a reason they were the best offensive team in the American League this year. Like they will swing, and they are contact guys, but they also got a pretty good eye. So that ball has got to be, starting in the middle of the plate and getting to the hands and getting to and off the barrels and do what he's done. And I would also say, we have said this for about 2 months. At some point, Gino has got to be Gino. The 473 OPS through the playoffs, right? A negative WAR player for 50-something games for you, when he was acquired. Like at some point, Gino has got to have that Gino.
It's a great point, Brock, and you're absolutely right. I had this kind of written down last night as I was just taking notes during the game, is that you've kind of got 6 guys at the top of your lineup that are fierce, right? And that's not a shot at Canzone or Robles or JP, but I think the thing that sets this Mariner lineup apart is that first 6 guys, right? And it's unrealistic to have all 6 of them going at once. It's just not baseball. Like, it's very, very rare that if you have 6 big guns, all 6 of them are on fire at the same time. If it happens, this team is going to waltz through the World Series. I mean, like, it's such an incredible experience that good luck to anybody that is in their way. But they've got like 4 of them going, I would say right now, right? Julio's been going, Cal's been going, Naylor's been going, Polanco's been going. And so 4 of 6 is pretty good.
Yep.
If you could get one more going, either Randy or Gino, it would be awesome. And it would just, it completely unlocks what they're capable of offensively, whether it's Randy getting on base at the top of the order or Gino hitting mammoth bombs, halfway through to drive everybody in. Both things would be huge. But the reality of it is, if it were to happen, there's no logic behind this other than just the way the world works. It would probably come at the expense of one of those other guys being as hot as they are, because it's just, for whatever reason, just so hard to get everybody hot at once. It's why you need depth in your lineup.
Yep, and it's hard to hit in the postseason. Like you see the regular season numbers, you don't get to feast on the carcass of the Cardinals and the Rockies and bad teams that can elevate your numbers. You're facing good staffs and good bullpens by and large, which is why some of these OPS numbers, right, through the playoffs, Randy at 594, JP at 595, okay, but they've gotten timely hits. Certainly JP has. But it's the Geno sitting there at 473, the Robles at 473, the Canzone at $192 OPS.
I mean, you'd like to see that improve, obviously.
Yes.
There's no doubt. And especially when Canzone's being put in a position. I mean, you could make a decent argument, Brock, that you could put Polanco at DH and insert Rivas into the game at second. I don't think that's a bad idea.
I would not hate that at all.
I don't think that is panicky. I think that would just be getting a little bit more energy into the game. And I don't have any problem with that at all, especially if it's a cold day or a cold night. I don't think Dan's going to do that. I mean, he's been very, very consistent with, wanting to roll the same thing out game after game, one for righties, one for lefties. But I would not mind that at all. I mean, getting a little extra energy into the game for a day with Rivas, I don't think is a bad play even a little bit. One other thing, two other things that I noticed yesterday that I thought were great. One, watching Julio raise the trident in front of 47,000 people. I know it ended at the beginning of the game and it didn't carry over. That's got to be such a cool deal. I mean, when you watch everybody else raise the trident, they do it for their teammates. And that's not to say they don't care about the fans. They do. But that trident is for their teammates. It's their thing. It's their bonding moment. It's the thing, one guy hands it to the next and they hold it up. And it is a team bonding, really cool deal. And then Julio does it. And I'm not saying he ignores his teammates. Obviously, the teammates are a big part of it for him, too. But the way he embraces the fans and he's holding it up and looking at the fans, it's got to be such an unbelievable adrenaline rush. Can you imagine how cool that would be?
Pretty neat.
It jumped out to me
once
last
again,
night.
Man, he's a singer that loves that stage and loves his audience. Some singers sing for their band and sing to make records. Some sing because the audience feeds them.
Yeah, it's like being a front man more than a singer even, right? Like you just get that feeling of the crowd and the back and forth.
Like Rockstar Bob he was.
So similar, to Bob. Yes, one of the many similarities between Bob and Julio. Also, did you see Naylor wearing the Kevin Durant throwback last night and KD commenting on it?
I did. I dug that.
What'd you think of that?
I thought it was super sweet, and this dude gets it, man. He knows this market, and he really does fit this market. There'll be a bidding. There'll be no question about it. He's going to let his agent do his job. I'm thankful that the revenue created from the ALDS, the revenue created from the ALCS is certainly going to buoy the budget and help with some of the real dollars that have come in, and a World Series trip would do nothing but accelerate that even more. So there's going to be a bidding, but as far as a guy that's a fit in a market, it doesn't feel in any way phony.
Yep.
He wears that Kraken jersey. He puts on the Durant jersey. Like, man, dude gets it. Dude really, really gets it.
He just seems to really love it here. People saying sign him now. No, you're not going to even have those conversations during the World Series or the ALCS or the World Series. That's just not how it goes. But I know that that's going to be a significant priority for them the offseason, as it should be.
Are you done emptying your barrel? Oh, you got one more?
Last thing.
Because I got one that just has to be addressed.
What are you going to do with Humpy tonight?
That's it.
Yeah, was that yours?
That's like with Star and double.
I mean, like what are you going to do with this? Is the problem with winning last night? What do you do now with Humpy?
He goes back to his place. You go back to finishing last. They shouldn't have done it last night. That's going to be
so deflating for people.
You could put credit, blame, pie on Dan, on George, on whatever. I'm sorry.
Humpy didn't do his job last night. Some of the timing was rough.
You want to talk about process, Salk, and results, and you can't you put a guy in a position or gal, who knows, in a position to not succeed. That's not Humpy's. That's not Humpy's scientific capability.
Yeah, I think some of the timing hurt Humpy last night. I mean, Humpy had to run right after George had just deflated the entire building and given up a 5 spot in the third. And the next thing that happened was Humpy coming out. I mean, the timing of it could not have been worse. Yeah, as great as it was the other night, it really was anticlimactic because of where it got. And Brock, it was a debate throughout the media room yesterday. Lefko and John Morosi and I were pretty passionately debating what comes next with Humpy. Yeah. And I really do feel like he should have retired. He should have gone out on top.
Let's be crystal clear. For the remaining 5 games, the 2 in the ALCS and the 3 in the World Series, Humpy will finish last. Unless a game gets to the 17th inning and you got to re-rack it. All right? Because
I don't think it's going to happen that way.
What do you mean?
I just don't.
Really?
I feel like Humpy was going to win again. I feel like Humpy can't be beaten.
Nope. Nope, that'd be really dumb. I think case in point last night, you learned your lesson. Put Humpy back where Humpy belongs.
Yeah, 253 says the Humpy needs to be a sacrifice tonight. Just sacrifice Humpy to the gods in hopes that it works better for everyone else. I don't know, man. I don't know I don't know how that goes. Lyle, do you have a thought? I mean, you've been strangely quiet on Humpy. Would you please weigh in?
I'm like Divish. I just don't care.
No, it's just salty. Just salty.
Why are you so lame? How do you not care? Humpy, turned everything around on Friday night, and you treat him like this, Lyle. It's not right. The fish has feelings.
Does it?
Yeah.
Or is it a mascot in a suit?
Oh, my God.
Lyle, have you truly recovered from last Friday?
No.
It feels like you still haven't.
No. What's wrong with you? Why are you so upset today?
I'm not upset.
You are, too.
Yes,
You're taking
Lyle,
shots at
stop
Humpy.
it.
If you're
Stop being
taking
a-
shots at Humpy, clearly there's something going on.
As a young man that grew up listening to this show is built on being authentic.
Right.
All right, being transparent, putting it all
I'm
out there,
doing that.
Lyle. No, you're not. No, you're being, maybe you are with Humpy, but the whole, come on, let it out. Why are you still on a Friday hangover on game whatever this is of the ALCS?
It's already Thursday, and you
My
still haven't recovered from Friday night.
I mean, when they say something takes years off your life, that game did.
It took years off your life? How many?
Lyle.
I don't know. 5?
6 years?
Yeah.
Lyle thinks that game is the equivalent of smoking like a pack and a half a day for 5 years.
How are you going to make it through lifelong fandom?
Seriously.
Yeah.
Have some resilience. Has this team not taught you anything of resiliency?
For all
this
of
team
your
that's
love
in your
of this
DNA, this team that's in your mitochondria of your cells, this team that you're all about is nothing but resilient.
And how come it's as if
and
you don't
6
pay any
days later,
attention to
you
them.
still can't get over that game.
Right.
And
It's as
you've won 2 of 3 since. What's wrong with you?
It's been awesome, but that game 5 was maddening. It was maddening.
They won.
I know they won. It was great. It was awesome that they won.
Some of these text messages are great. The young people that work for you have no sense of humor. That's true. That is absolutely true. Humpy needs to start running the race in the opposite direction. Maybe.
Yes.
And that would be, very salmon-like of him, obviously.
I thought it was fine when we talked about it on Monday. Now it's starting to get overkill.
Really?
Overkill. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, I guess there's a lot of difference of opinion there. Lyle says the 360, please say the season is over, and that will obviously get the Mariners
Well, it's a must
going.
win.
It
It's a must win
is
tonight.
must win tonight. I'll say that.
It's
Must
a
win,
must
he
win
says.
tonight?
Yes.
Must win.
So if they don't win, they shouldn't even bother playing tomorrow.
The playoffs. Every game's a must win, but especially tonight's a must win.
Well, tell Dan, because he managed last night like it was game 30 of the season and not game 3 rather, of the ALCS. That was a little surprising. Let's move it along here, and we'll take some fantasy questions for Mora.
Fantasy football forecast with Maura Dooley.
Brock 360 says, tonight a giant eagle swoops in, costumed from a helicopter, and removes Humpy from the ballpark. It leaves intrigue and room for Humpy to make his great return in the World
Totally
Series.
down with that. Totally down. The liability, severe.
The cost associated with it?
Severe.
Yeah.
But I'm all down with that. All down with that.
That would
I
be
also,
kind of
once
epic.
again, I do think of our listeners, our new listeners, when they hear the open to that segment, are like, what is this show?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
425 says, somebody get Lyle a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I'm worried about Lyle.
Yeah. I like the spelling of Lyle, L-I-A-L. That's not one you see every day. As a former mascot for my high school, I find Lyle's attitude offensive.
Uh-huh.
I think I've seen Niall spelled that way, right?
L-I-A-L, Lyle.
It's weird.
What you got cooking, Maura? What you
Oh,
got? Lot of fantasy football questions. What we got cooking?
All right. 541 wants to know, should I start as they put it, slightly injured Jaden Daniels or Sam Darnold versus Houston? That's their backup. I love Sam Darnold. He's doing great things. But the Texans have not given up a touchdown to a quarterback in their last 3 games. They've held each quarterback to, I think Trevor Lawrence got 222 yards. The other two just like 100-something. They've come up with 5 interceptions in that time span. Baker Mayfield was the one quarterback. It did have a decent fantasy performance against them, so maybe Darnold could do the same. But Daniels is the safer bet because he's playing the Cowboys, who are giving up the most fantasy points to quarterbacks.
They're horrible.
Really?
Yeah. They allowed Justin Fields and Bryce Young to combine for almost 500 yards and 5 touchdowns over their last 2 games.
Would they be better if they had
They'd be better,
Micah Parsons.
but their secondary is,
Right.
I mean, they are horrible.
Right, like maybe it wasn't even worth having Micah Parsons because
Correct.
the rest of the team is so bad, so get the draft picks and move it along.
Yeah, but maybe you didn't have to make such a spectacle
Well,
out of
that
it
too.
and make it personal.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. No one's disagreeing with that.
So no knock on Sam Darnold, but I think Jaden Daniels is just the better option because of matchup.
We'll have to dig in why the Texans are so good defensively. I gotta study that a little bit more.
Probably a lot because of your dude that you wanted here.
Will Anderson.
Yeah.
No question. Stingley at corner. D'Amico Ryans. You kind of know what they do.
Yeah. I mean,
Right?
D'Amico Ryans really knows what he's doing.
Yes, he does.
Will Anderson was the Witherspoon draft, right?
Yeah.
Like we talked about him a lot, but they would have had to make trades and move up
He
to
got
get him.
picked 1 spot before them, 2 spots before them?
No, didn't he go 2 and 3? Stroud 2. He went 3.
I think
they
so.
Can't. They went
Oh,
up
okay,
in the
you're right.
draft.
So they didn't have any real chance. And they were 5.
Yeah.
Because then it was Marvin Harrison Jr. and someone else.
Neighbors and then Spoon at 6.
Okay.
Yep.
Good job.
Yeah.
All right, 360 says, I need to free up a spot on my roster. Who should I cut? They have some interesting people here. Michael Carter and Bam Knight, running backs from Arizona, or Hollywood Brown, the Chiefs wide receiver. The Cardinals are kind of a mess. Bam Knight and Michael Carter have been splitting carries. Carter was slightly more efficient, and if you're in a PPR, he's more of the pass catcher. So I would probably consider dropping Knight. Hollywood Brown does have to deal with Rashee Rice coming back off of suspension, but if the Chiefs ease him back in, I think Hollywood Brown still has more value than those other two.
And after the story we heard about Hollywood Brown, you can't cut Hollywood Brown, right?
Is he any good?
You would just keep guys on your fantasy
If
team
Hollywood
for the
Brown had a
lore.
different name.
It's a great story.
It was a great story, but if he wasn't Hollywood Brown, would he be any good?
I mean, he's lightning fast. He's just little. He's so little.
Antonio Brown's cousin, right?
Oh, is that true?
I think so, yeah.
Learned something this morning.
Let's see. Jeremy in P-Town says, should I trust T. Higgins tonight in my flex or plug in Charbonnet against Houston's D? I don't feel great about Charbonnet in this game because, again, the Houston defense is pretty stout. The Seahawks, as we know, have struggled to establish the run. They held Derrick Henry to 33 yards on 15 carries.
Is he done, by the way?
No.
Derrick Henry?
No,
It's
he
just that
bounced back.
team.
He had like 140 yards last week. And
It's just the
he ain't
team.
done. Yeah, he needs a little bit of Lamar, but even without Lamar last week, he's still
a force. So you'd be relying on Charbonnet to get in the end zone, which he has done a couple times recently, but I just hate being that reliant on that, where if he doesn't score a touchdown, you're not really going to get anything on the day. So
could be
Higgins,
a bunch of garbage yards tonight too, right? For T, they are down.
yeah.
20
Higgins looked better with
yep.
Flacco last week. The Steelers have allowed 5 different receivers to get 90 yards or more this season. That's who I would go with, especially, like I said, if you're in a PPR, because you're getting a point every time he catches a ball.
I'm down with that, especially in the PPR.
Is that like you being down with OPP?
With the PPR.
You always, or the APP, I'm sorry. You like to do that with the... Let's see, one last one here. 360, Jake Ferguson, the Dallas tight end, or Dallas Goedert, the Eagles tight end. You've got some good options there. They're both good, but and they're both a little touchdown dependent. But Goddard has only not scored a touchdown in one game this year. He had 110 yards last week, so he's starting to catch some more passes as well. I lean towards him, but they do both kind of have tougher matchups this week. Minnesota has been pretty good against tight ends, and they are facing the Eagles this week. And then Dallas has the Commanders, who've been pretty decent against tight ends too. But I'm leaning towards Goddard.
Give us one more, and then we'll finish up with a little bit of baseball here.
That's
No, that's it. All right. Never mind. Sorry.
Did you listen to her? She said this is it.
You know I never listen during this segment.
Thank you so much.
You know I don't
Appreciate
pay
it.
any attention once we start talking about fantasy
Seahawks
sports.
angles in here.
I'm
give
just
you some
kidding.
idea.
I listen.
I know you like your guy Derrick Henry, so I thought that would give you an
King
idea of what Houston's doing.
King Henry. All right, a couple minutes left here. There's a lot of Humpy texts that I don't want to read all of them. Some of them go way too far, but I do like the question: can Humpy now have a heel turn now that victory has been tasted? Maybe spill a trap of Roe or something along those lines. That's funny. All right, to the game tonight. Yeah. Luis is obviously the guy you're looking at, man. I mean, you got your full bullpen totally rested, got extra rest yesterday. Luis, I want to see him go out and do his thing, but you got to be on a somewhat short leash, right? Lyle, I'm not going to get all the way to where you are and say must win, but I really, truly believe, and always have, Brock, you've heard me say this a million times over 17 years. Game 4 is as big as they get. Game 4 is the swing game. The difference between 3-1.
Fifth inning, right?
Yes. The difference between 3-1 and 2-2 is gigantic. Yep. Much bigger than the difference between 3-2 either way. You got to throw it all at tonight. This is an opportunity to take a command
up tonight if Castillo goes?
I don't think so, no. But I think Miller could be. Although maybe you need to say Miller for tomorrow. Right. Brock, if you got to go to a leverage guy in the 5th inning, fine. I got no problem seeing Matt Brash in the 5th inning, and then you'll figure it out. Bizardo has every ability to work multiple innings, and if you got to bring in Brash to quell a rally in the 5th, fine. I got no problems with that all.
If Luis gets through this lineup 2 times with 1 or 2 runs, let's go.
Absolutely. I mean,
you
that
turn it
should
over
put you
and
in.
use all your horses.
That's exactly right. And I want to see them all come in and do their thing tonight. You got to manage this kind of similar to a Game 5 with a lot of urgency, I would say, tonight. So looking forward to it. I'm going to go back over there and I'll be at the game to see the festivities. And that crowd is loud, man. It is, when it gets going, Julio hit that home run. You almost see like swirling patterns in the crowd because kind of sitting above it a little bit. It's amazing. It really is a cool deal. Yep. Okay.
Oh, these people want it bad. They want it real bad.
All right. Well, you got to go out and deliver it, Brock.
Have you ever tasted have you ever gotten to 3 wins in the ALCS?
Never happened.
All right.
Never happened before.
May tonight be the night.
May it be. All right. We will be here tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. either way. G. Scott will join us tomorrow. Anybody else we're planning on for tomorrow? Don't know yet. Let's kind of see what happens. Let's see what goes on tonight. We'll see who else is going to end up joining us tomorrow. Have a great evening, everybody. Good luck to the Mariners. Good luck to Lyle to get through it without taking any. He's like on the machine in The Princess Bride, just taking years off of his life. Way to go. You know where the hay is, Brock? Let's see everybody.
Get to the chopper!
Hawks Live. Touchdown! Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square Center Court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer with this week's guest, Seahawks safety Ty Okada.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
When your name's on the paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick it up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Let's go! You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems